Mr. Primetime.
How you doing?
The first thing is we got to test and see if everybody can hear you because I can't hear you for some reason. Maybe we don't want to hear you.
Trust me.
Oh, now I can hear you.
They will hear me very soon. Yes. So if you can't,
welcome back.
You hear me good?
You're good now.
All right, cool. I didn't change anything, so I don't know what was going on before.
Oh, now you're good. Yeah, it's perfect now. You're clear.
Oh, cool.
So,
not really anything to talk about tonight, right?
Oh, dude, Tevin Coleman, man. Tevin Coleman.
That's right.
Great value. Your thoughts on him, man?
Yeah, I mean, $1.1 million, I think. I mean, it was better than the $2 million that was first reported. So I'm fine with that move. Even Sheldon Rankins is now down to, I think, $5.5 million for the year. So that's a little bit better than what we thought, at $7 or $8 million per. And what was the other move?
Vinny Curry.
Yeah, Vinny Curry also. He's at 1.3. So I can tolerate all three of those moves, I guess, to a certain extent.
Joe Douglas getting every bang for his buck for sure. He made the defensive line a priority, getting the pass rush going. The Tevin Coleman one I find interesting because there's a lot of other running backs available for that kind of price. I know he's so cheap. He's got familiarity with the offense. I mean, it is what it is, but there's a lot of other running backs out there that have a lot, maybe more explosive nature, the same price
like
range.
You said, like you said, though, he's got the familiarity with the offense. He knows LaFleur. He's got some speed, had some good years with the Falcons. But I just thought guys like, McKinnon or even Matt Breida, who I think signed with Buffalo. Yep. I thought those guys would have been perfect fits who also know the system. Yep. Marlon Mack also got $2 million. So I thought there was a lot of different ways they could have gone, but I still think they're going to draft somebody.
Yeah, and then talking about quarterbacks, the backup quarterback thing is getting really fascinating to me because, to me, I thought C.J. Beathard was a foregone conclusion. I thought he made the most sense as an outsider looking in. I know Nick Mullins is still out there, but,
I think there's a good chance. I mean, it could still be Zach Wilson after Darnold beats him out in a quarterback competition or something like that, but, we could see what happens,
I mean, I'm still surprised that C.J. Beathard went somewhere else. I know Nick Mullins is still out there. I mean, James Morgan, is just going to be the third quarterback. Maybe the fourth quarterback, unless Mike White beats him out, because I know Joe Douglas loves Mike White. So, Mr. Primetime, today is a day that is very fascinating. So, before we go into the pro day, let's talk about this monumental blockbuster trade that the 49ers made. Your thoughts on that? Trading up with the Dolphins, the 49ers now have the third pick in the draft.
Well, for the Niners, obviously, they're moving up to get their quarterback, whether it's Trey Lance or whoever. I think this move is phenomenal for the Dolphins. You basically move back 3 spots. You got an extra first-round pick and an extra third-round pick. You're still probably going to get the same player that you targeted, assuming that, 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5 picks. So I think the Dolphins hit a home run with this. And even more importantly, and this is why I'm surprised that you're kind of happy, is that they're in play for Deshaun Watson. Well, I know what your opinion is going to be. Because all the
when did I say I was happy?
I'll wait then. Okay. But this puts them as the clear front runners now, I think, for Deshaun Watson. Whereas before we said the Jets with the number 2 pick over Miami, they should be able to offer more than anybody else. Assuming all that stuff ends up getting cleared out of the way, whether it's before this season or even next season. But now, Miami's got all these picks loaded up. They're probably the front runners. They can make a move if they need to. If 2 is not the guy, and I think the Jets could have taken that same exact approach. Because obviously, if the Niners are making that offer for pick 3, clearly they made it for pick 2, right?
Exactly.
Why would you? Exactly. So clearly the Jets have their sights set on taking a quarterback, which is fine.
We agree on something.
No, yeah. Why am I going to argue that?
I'm just here on Friday night trying to make friends.
Maybe there's a 5% chance if a team ups their whatever they're trying to trade, but I still don't think. I doubt it. But what I'm trying to say is that you could have had 7 first-round picks at the end of the day over the next 3 years. And so if Sam didn't work out, it didn't even have to be about, all right, going into next year and, forcing yourself to draft a quarterback and trading 3 first-round picks. That could have been Deshaun Watson. That could have been Russell Wilson. You'd be in play for anybody or anything that you wanted. So that's where I'm a little bit disappointed. That's part of the whole reason I wanted to trade down. Getting 2 first-round picks, on top of the 2 you got for Jamal, that's your foundation right there. That's everything that I wanted to build through the draft, like I keep saying, because I do want to build through the draft, just, a different free agency approach. So I'm not too happy, but ultimately, if Joe Douglas is this confident in putting his name next to Zach Wilson, along with Sal's recommendation, probably too, I guess you got to be confident in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I give the Dolphins credit, man. Like you said, the Dolphins are loaded with picks, man. They got so many freaking draft picks that if Tua doesn't pan out, like you said, they can make an aggressive play next year. They can do all kinds of stuff. To me, I think Deshaun Watson's going nowhere this year because this legal battle is going to get ugly. That is I don't even want to discount. I don't want to discount anything because with this many accusations, even if two of them are legit, it's bad. Like, so I'm not even going to touch it. To me, he's just a conversation where it's like off the table until they figure out all that mess. So, I agree with you too. I think the 49ers offered the Jets this. They're saying they had no talks with the Jets. They did. Because, they're all friends. I mean, Salah's friends with Lynch. I mean, give me a fucking break with that. So I think they probably inquired, and Joe Douglas is like, we're not interested. This is, now can they get blown away by the Carolina Panthers? If the Carolina Panthers make this like ridiculous package where you can't say no, I think they can. I don't think it's going to happen though. I think teams now, the bar has been set. What you need to do to get the number 2 pick, and I don't think any team's going to do it. Even as impressive as Zach Wilson was today, I don't think a team's beating the 49ers and then to go up to 2.
Oh, I think they will. I think a team will. I just think that Joe Douglas is now set on taking a quarterback at 2. If he wasn't even engaging in dialogue with the Niners, a team that obviously, Salah has some connections with, I think that would have been the perfect move. Maybe he wants to stay in the top 10 with a team like Carolina, but is 12 really that much of a difference for the guaranteed 2 first-round picks plus another third? That would be everything you would want in a trade down. So if he's not going to take that, why would he roll the dice on, potentially getting more? If his heart was set on trading down and building around Sam, I think this would have been the move he makes.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So I give the 49ers credit. They went up and they get up where they want to be. And apparently, according to who you believe, it's Trey Lance is who they really want, who's supposedly a great fit for the Kyle Shanahan offense, which is fine.
So why is he not a fit for the Jets offense?
Well, I mean, because Zach Wilson's already gone. You know what I mean? Zach Wilson's the guy. But just going. So I give the 49ers credit because they're making a move. And the thing I'm finding most interesting about all this is the Jets are kind of showing their hand now, where it's like, listen, unless you blow them away ridiculously, they are going quarterback at 2. They ain't trading back.
Unless that's part of the elaborate plan to make a team go above. Well,
listen, if that could be part of the plan, where this number 2 pick has enormous value right now today with Zach Wilson, the hype, and everything else. It's this pick cannot be any more valuable. Where even Trevor Lawrence is tweeting about how good his fucking throw was. Yep. But now my question to you is this, and I'm curious because there's 2 ways to look at this: the value of Sam Darnold now, and is the market even diminished where it could be less than ever? And did Joe Douglas shit the bed with this?
Well, that's why I made the point a few minutes ago about him potentially coming back. Not to say that he would win a quarterback competition, but if you take Wilson and you deem that he's not ready, why force him to start week 1?
Yeah,
and who would be a better option to have start week 1 than Darnold, who you could still have the possibility of upping his trade value, or he just blows you away and then you trade Wilson, which I know nobody would think would happen. But
it's fascinating to see how they handle Darnold now, because now they're saying, the trade market could heat up a little bit, this and that. I'm like, I think it could go into the draft now. I think now it's teams like Carolina got to figure out what their plan is, because if you go, just say in theory, if the first 3 picks are quarterbacks, if it goes Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, now, is a team going to trip to go for Justin Fields? Does the team feel really good about Trask or Mac Jones? I'm not really sure. So if you're the Panthers sitting there at 8, you're like, all right, do I want to take, the 5th best quarterback in this draft or 4th best quarterback in this draft? Or do I say, fuck it, I'll offer you my 2nd round pick for Sam Darnold, then go that way? That's kind of where I think they may have an option there based on how this plays out now.
No, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. I just think that why it's gotten to this point is because Joe Douglas was probably holding out for a 1st-round pick, for better or for worse. We saw the way he handled the Jamal Adams trade negotiations last year. Yep. He held firm on, 2 first-round picks and more. He ultimately got it. So maybe he thought, the market would shape out the same way with Darnold. Who knows?
Yeah, and like I said, listen, I respect Joe Douglas for taking this point. Like, listen, he found the quarterback he loves. If this is the guy they want to reset with, I'm fine with it. But now it's like, let me see how you're going to get value for Darnold, because again, this is all speculation according to who you believe, but there were offers on the table the last couple of weeks from other teams, Bears, Washington, 49ers. There's all these inquiries. It didn't pan out. Now they made the other moves. Now, if he gets stuck with like a Josh Rosen situation where they get Kyler Murray and Josh Rosen's like, all right, so
maybe this is all a smokescreen then. An elaborate plan. They bring the whole team out there to watch Zach Wilson, all the tweets, everybody connecting the dots. I'm throwing it out there.
The fact that San Francisco didn't call the Jets means they didn't believe that calling the Jets for pick number 2 is a viable option for them. I mean, I somewhat agree. I think that Salah has ties to Lynch and Shanahan. I mean, I think as friends, they're going to talk. They have listen, what are your thoughts on this? Don't even waste your time. Okay. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? Like, the conversations happen like that. We just say, listen, I know you're going to call about it. Don't even waste your breath. We're not interested. We have the guy we want. explore other options. That's probably how it happened, man.
No, that was my initial reaction. I mean, anytime you trade up for a quarterback, you want to be in position to take your guy. And at pick 3, there's no guarantee you're going to get your guy unless, there's 2 guys that you love that are going to be there. Kind of like, when the Jets traded up to 3 for Darnold, even if the Giants took a quarterback at 2 instead of Saquon, I guess they felt comfortable, whether it was, going to be Sam or, Rosen or Baker, they knew they had somebody there. So maybe this is the same situation.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess this is all kinds of makes sense because Trey Lance already had his pro day. So they saw that they kind of know you already know what Trevor Lawrence is. And they say, okay, listen, we feel comfortable with Trey Lance. We want to be in that situation. We get one of the guys we want, which is where the Jets are in the situation, which is good because number 2, you have that choice. Trevor Lawrence is already gone, but now it's like you get the best of the rest, and that's what they're going to probably do now. And again, the pro day today wasn't a surprise for anybody. Everybody expected to put on this show. This was what everybody expected. This was my, I never watched pro days, so I can't evaluate this to Sam, to Lawrence, to whoever. Like, I don't watch pro days because I just don't. But watching some of the shit he did, man, was like, holy fuck, man, that's pretty wild. But it's shorts and it's against air. Right. So I'll leave that to the experts and the analysts. But a lot of hype, a lot of hoopla, and he's got a cannon.
No, I mean, that's obviously something that we knew, but I mean, Lance Zierlein, he was on NFL Network about like an hour ago, and he was, kind of saying the same thing that, the throws that we saw him make, we knew he can make those throws, especially in shorts against air, no defense and stuff like that. So, there was a lot of other things that he was talking about as far as accuracy.
The flick of the wrist, man. It's like, holy shit. He just.
No, and again, like
crazy.
He makes some of those great throws that are, completely off balance, like Darnold can do. But at the same time, if he's doing that at the NFL level and he's throwing interceptions or making bad decisions, what kind of quarterback is he? And that's like like the little bit of film that I did watch. I feel like he is that Brett Favre kind of gunslinger. And I mean, that could be a great thing or it could be a really bad thing, depending on, what they surround him with, how they develop him. If they develop him the right way, I mean, you would think he could be a top 5 quarterback potentially. But I think he still has that boom or bust potential, more so than even Fields or Lance.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantees in anything. And these guys, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, in theory, should be a great player. He could be a bust too, for all we know. We've seen it where highly touted quarterbacks pan out, other ones don't. I didn't like Josh Allen when he came out. I don't fucking know shit. The one thing I do like about a guy like Wilson with that kind of arm strength is if you're going to play cold weather games in the East Coast, that goes along with. It's like Josh Allen, dude. When you're playing in the shitty weather, the snow, the wind, especially MetLife Stadium, that goes a long way. Especially when you're thrown out to the sticks. I mean, that's shit like that's cool. Today was fascinating, man. When that trade went down, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this changes the game because now the Jets are showing their hand now. I know Corey Davis offered a quote. They come here to play with Sam Darnold. I mean, because that quote meant so much, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Because people listen to you. You put that out there 2 weeks ago, did you not?
I listen. Nobody listens to me, man. I'm just a fan. I'm not an expert.
You said the Jets would reveal their plan by how they handled.
They revealed it today.
You said they would reveal it with how they handled their negotiations for wide receivers.
But for negotiations with receivers that don't come here, though. A receiver that comes here is not going to be like, yeah, I came here to play for Zach Wilson. No, he's like, no, I love Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's my guy until he's not. Guess what? As of March 26th, he's probably not going to be your guy. So now Corey Davis will be changing his tune probably by April 1st, and away we go. So, I mean, let's see what we got here. We got everybody. Hello. We haven't done one of these in a while. Fucking microphones weren't working. Headset wasn't working. So primetime, you're handling this pretty well, though. You've lost that anger. You've lost that fury.
Well, I've gone through. I mean, I've had a few hours to go through all the stages of grief. The denial, the anger, the acceptance. So.
Corey Davis liked the NFL post of Wilson's throw. Corey Davis is already part of it. He's already buying in. No, the only thing we have next is Mekhi Becton to start tweeting shit. That would be full circle.
Well, I think it's clear that Douglas kind of, into him of what the plan was, to just, sell on Zach Wilson, make teams really buy into the fact that they're taking him and just drive up that price for the second pick.
I'm just waiting for Mekhi Becton and Denzel Mims to start liking stuff and retweeting stuff, and we'll be all there.
Yeah, they already did that shit. Watson.
Oh man, the NFL is unbelievable, dude. Like the NBA trade deadline is wild. The NFL could take over the sports news in a heartbeat, dude. Like it was just like that. Like everything, Twitter was swarming with stuff, and it's been pretty wild.
I'm actually happy that the Knicks didn't make a move.
Yeah, me too. I was getting nervous.
The course, build young. Yep.
Especially with the Lonzo Ball stuff and everything else, I was getting real nervous about that.
Yep.
And some MMA news too. I am so excited that Miesha Tate's returning, man. I'm an enormous fan of Miesha Tate. It's so cool that she's coming back. I think that's great. So. Anybody cares about that?
We got tomorrow night.
Oh man, which Nagano is going to show up? Is it going to be the guy that's going to be somewhat timid and scared to engage and go after it? Or is he going to unleash and go,
Well, he's finished his last 4 fights in a total of what, like 2.5 minutes?
I know, but yeah, he does. But then, like in a big spot with everything on the line, is he going to have that same mindset, or is he kind of more cautious because he knows he can get clipped by Stipe and go down?
Well, Miocic like grounded and pounded him last time, right? It was a 5-round fight, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I think he'll come out swinging.
Yeah, I think it's a great card though. A lot of good fights coming up. So we will see what we got here. Looks like a lot of new people in the chat, which is cool. And what I like, first of all, thank everybody for calling in on Tuesday night. Tuesday night show was wild. Ruffled a lot of feathers, which is always fun. And our good friend Tyrone, who has a how do we want to say, an ability to change his take often.
You can say waffle.
Yes, I think already waffled today. And our good friend Cassandra already called him out and roasted the shit out of him. And you saw, I think I tagged you in it.
I saw the picture. I didn't see what he waffled about this time though. I missed it.
Because somebody said, "Are you still sticking with Fields?" He's like, "Zach Wilson's my guy." He changed already, dude.
I'm telling you, next week it's going to be Trey Lance, and then the following week it'll be Kellen Mond, and then Trask and Mac Jones. We'll have a new guy.
Leave Tyrone alone. Listen, man. Listen, we try to bring him on. He's ridiculously busy. Listen, yeah, it is. Woo. PT is primetime. Yes, welcome to the show. If you don't know who we are, that's primetime is Mr. Kevin Serkin, a legend.
Sam's biggest fan.
Sam's biggest fan, who is taking I think I've been, listen, I've been nice. I've just been here on a Friday night, having my Trulies.
Until he's gone, I am not jumping off the train, not jumping off the ship. Because you know what? Like, on a serious note, though, the amount of hate that this kid gets for somebody that's like been a genuinely good kid, like you even said, like he gives back, he works hard, he doesn't go out, he's not doing the club thing. Like he's never done one thing to like piss off a fan or give you a reason to dislike him. I get, what his play on the field is, whether or not he's been broken. We all agree that the Jets are the reason that if you agree he's broken now, it's their fault primarily with what they didn't give him between a coach, an offensive line, and receivers and everything else. They literally broke the kid. They rewrote the book on how you
say hi to Mike Koala?
Quarterback. No, I didn't. Hi, Koala. Why is it Zach?
Because we had a.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to change his name. Yeah, forgot.
We're a politically correct Koala. we don't want to.
So to just end my Sam rant, the point being is that if he eventually gets traded, fine, I'll embrace Wilson or whoever the new quarterback is, but I'm not going to push the kid out the door or shit on the kid every day like a lot of people are doing every single day on social media. I just think that's fucked up. So.
Yeah, listen, and I'm remaining consistent with that. I like Sam Darnold. I respect him. I understand. I understand everything that he's been through. For me personally, I respect him. Everything about him. I think it's a change of scenery, just best for him just to start over and get out of this chaos and this nightmare. I'm not sitting there ripping him to shreds like some of these guys in there now are just like.
Well, I was saying at this point now, you wonder why he's not going to Joe Douglas and ownership and saying just fucking trade me.
Yeah, get me out of here.
Yeah, watching NFL Network at night, seeing Douglas talking with Wilson and all these rumors, like just get me the fuck out of here now at this point.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages. Did you see Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football talking about Sam Darnold? I got like 30 messages being like, "Oh, is that prime time or Kyle Brandt?"
I think I did see it. Somebody tagged me, I think.
So, I'll get back to that. There we go. We all love Darnold. We just don't want him as a quarterback anymore. I mean, primetime does. Primetime is going down on the Darnold ship. Quick question. You going to play near my God to the when it happens?
Again, for Douglas to make this pick, he is saying that gap between Wilson or whoever he takes and Darnold is that big to turn down the 2 first-round picks and everything else. So if Wilson's not the guy, if he's not a legit top 10 cornerback and Darnold goes somewhere else or you find a way to fuck this up, like you're gone. You're not going to get a chance to take another quarterback. Like this is your job. You're putting your name next to this guy. So better get it right. You better develop him the right way and you better be the goods because I still think this is the riskiest option. I get it. You may get the highest reward by being able to reset the quarterback clock. But again, being able to have potentially 7 first-round picks plus 3/3 this year over the next 3 years. And then you add in the late round picks with guys like Williamson and McClendon and Jordan Willis from those trades, you'd be fucking loaded, dude.
Yep. But I think right now, my personal opinion, I mean, Sam still loves you, man. So we still have him here saying he's sharing the dwindling days. You guys can still share these moments and memories together. I give Douglas credit, man. Listen, they're going to reset. They're going to restart. They're identifying their guy, and they're going to build around him and do what they can for him. So listen, it is what it is. Like this is the general manager we all chose, or not we all chose, the Jets chose, and you got to put our trust in him. Interesting takes. There's been so many debates over the last 3 days about Darnold, about Douglas, about Wilson. It's been crazy.
And again, like, not to stay negative, but like there are just so many ways that this could blow up in his face. Like legitimately though, if Darnold goes somewhere else,
or it could go great. This could be our guy finally.
No, and I'll get to that in a second. But like I said, Darnold goes somewhere else and he becomes equally as good as the guy you take. That's a major failure. On top of all the draft picks that you turn down. If Trey Lance or Justin Fields taken at pick 3 or pick 4 is better than the guy you take at 2, that's a major disaster too. Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on this pick. If he fucks it up in any way, and this guy's not a legit top 10 quarterback, you're in a major, major problem. Yep. You set your organization back fucking years. Or
you get your guy, you put him in a quarterback-friendly offense. You already added Cole, you added Corey Davis, you got Mims, you got Crowder. You add some more weapons at wide receiver, do the offensive line, and you say, you know what? We actually have a guy. We have NFL offense again, and things are good, and we can be happy for once. So, Tyson, you said bring it on via Twitter. How can I bring, bro? You know what? I'm all down for this tonight. I am so ready because I'm always getting challenged. I will give you the goddamn link, and you can come right on. Let's do this. I welcome this. Prime Time's already shaking his head. Let's go.
It should be fun.
Go on. Here's the link. Click on it. Join it. Let's do this. I'm so ready for this. This is fun. This is what we're here for. I love this. How many times does this ever work, Prime Time? I've been called out, like 6, 7 times. And of those times, I think maybe one person got me good. The rest haven't fared well.
Usually doesn't work out too well.
I love it, though. So let's go. Because he called in on Tuesday. He was from London. Let's go. I love this kind of stuff. Vinny and the Jets getting ready to join us. Let's see. I want to see. I think people tune in just for this, man. They're here for the arguments. They don't even give a shit about our takes anymore. So, which is fine.
Hold on. I got to call out my onions.
get your onions. Good.
Hold on. Where is it? So, yes, it is a complete failure if he's not a top 10 quarterback because are you trading 2 first-round picks for a guy that's not a top 10 quarterback? Because ultimately that's what they turned down.
You're making this move. You're thinking you're getting a franchise quarterback by getting Wilson. That's why you're doing it.
Yes, a top 10 franchise quarterback.
Yep, that's it. Let's go.
That should be the expectation.
Tyson, meet me at Matt Sarah's gym. Why? For what reason? What are we gonna do there? Hang out, hit pads. and I know where the gym is too. Like it's at Long Island. Ray Longo. I know where it is. Nicotone Gym's right down the street. You can go there too if you like. All right, ST. Like it's at Long Island. Ray Longo. I know where it is. Nicotone Gym's right down the street. You can go there too if you like. All right, ST. Delayed, man.
What's up, guys?
Ray Longo. You gotta turn your volume, your speaker down, dude. All right, ST. What's up, guys? You gotta turn your volume, your speaker down, dude.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
I think that's better, right?
Almost.
It's delayed. It's like we're talking like we could talk to him now and get an answer like an hour from now.
It's like a 15-second delay plus the echo.
Holy shit! Probably gonna be as bad as his take. We could talk to him now and get an answer like an hour from now. It's like a 15-second. He's pouring his shot. Like, what are we doing here?
At least he's got the Jack Daniels out.
As bad as his take. We could talk to him now and get an answer like an hour from now. What is going on here? What are we doing?
I don't know. We're listening to ourselves at this point.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but you got to turn your speakers down because we hear everything behind you too.
Okay. No,
here we go.
I don't know. Like, I just want to say, like, it's interesting that like Zach Wilson's pro day, like he's making the throw across his body. Like everybody does that. Sam did that in the rain. Like every quarterback does that. It's very interesting because I just feel like we're jumping the gun. Don't you think? I mean, given the trades that San Francisco has done, everybody was. I mean, follow me. Everybody was talking
I'm
about
trying
the
to, man.
Eagles
This
and
is
the
not
number
easy, though.
six,
I've already
and,
lost interest with this
now
hot
it's
take.
talking about, Joe Flacco is gone there, and what are they going to do with Jalen Hurts? But I mean, what are we really sold on Wilson? Like, I know Tyson, you said pro day, like after pro day, everything's going to go mental. So, and you're right, we're all going mental, and that's why we're all here. But I mean,
Well,
what
if
do
I
you
could
guys
just add,
think?
if I could just add
Really
this
think, like,
from the other side,
Douglas,
I don't think
all of
that
them are there
I don't think that
at
the
his
pro
pro day.
day
Do
had
you
anything
really
to
think they're
do.
all in?
Okay, I don't think he's getting this. Like,
From the other side, I don't think that
we got it. Yeah, we got it.
pro day had anything to do.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do
I
it.
was just gonna say real quick. Yeah, no, that was annoying. I don't think his pro day had anything to do with like what's going on now. I mean, I think they made this decision weeks ago.
Can we talk about when somebody says they have a hot take and they come in and you're just like, Joe Flacco, listen, if you're gonna fucking roast me or attack me and like come on like Twitter and say, hey man, I got some hot shit for you, bring it on here. Let's go.
I don't know what that was.
We're gonna go to Vinny and the Jets. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Living the dream, dude.
What's up, Benny? How you been, man?
So I think we fine. Not much. I'm still waiting for the cook-off. When are we going to do it?
When do you want to do it? Let's set a date. Let's do it. Let's set a date now.
Whenever you want. Next show.
You gonna do Monday? I just don't know what time I'm getting home from practice Monday night. Yeah, as long
Monday,
as I'm home
9
in time,
o'clock?
I should be home by 9, so we could probably do that then.
Doesn't matter.
Now
But
we're walking
to
with
talk
you.
about what we saw today with the pro day, I don't want to get too overexcited. It's just the pro day. They're in shorts. There's no defense. I mean, the guy shows he's got a very strong arm. He's accurate. He looks confident. I'm with you, Tyson, 100%. I think we just reset the clock. You don't have to worry about paying a quarterback for 3 years and take that money you would have spent investing into Sam Darnold and start putting even more pieces around your new franchise quarterback. It seems it's almost too obvious at this point. So, primetime, I'm sorry. You got to forgive me for saying you got to end the bromance.
Not happening. Because again, we're making this thing still about Sam Darnold versus Zach Wilson, and that's not what it is. It's about having the opportunity to have 7 first-round picks to either build around Sam, trade for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson if all this shit goes away, or trade up and go get your quarterback, whatever direction you want to go in. I mean, even the Niners right now, they have their team in place. They just traded a bunch of first-round picks to go up and get their quarterback. The Chiefs had their team in place. They traded a first-round pick to go get Mahomes. The Texans had a solid team in place. They traded up to go get Watson. It's not uncommon to do that. I know we're in position right now to get our guy, which is fine, but you're also in position to get a ridiculous haul for that pick when you might already have a quarterback. So
I get what you're saying 100%, but I don't think you could convince other free agents to want to come here when you tell them Sam Darnold's your starting quarterback. I mean,
Corey
I
Davis
like
just
Sam
signed
as a
here.
person. I just think he was cursed with a really bad situation, but he hasn't shown enough to say he's the guy. I'm sorry. It's for me between the injuries, the mono, and everything else.
Zach Wilson didn't have any injuries? And mono's a fluke. Mono's a fluke thing. I don't know how we're going to blame a quarterback for getting.
How about this?
Mono.
How about let's not go down this Sam Darnold. Let's not go down this Sam Darnold
dollars right now.
Let's not go through this Sam Darnold shit again. Let's have fun with enjoying Zach Wilson. What could they do around him? All this other stuff. Let's make this a happy Friday night show. Let's not go down this Darnold misery again.
I'm sorry, Tyson. Listen, if we can get some good marquee talent through the draft, get a good receiver. How about another guard? Maybe a playmaking tight end. And maybe we can win anywhere from maybe 6 to 8 games going into next year. That gives me hope to say, hey, we got something here. You want to come play for Coach Saleh? Come here. We got a good young and up-and-coming quarterback. Let's do this.
Yep. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good night, man.
Yep. I think his Wi-Fi was kicking out a little bit. But listen, I mean, it's easy to analyze all the Sam Darnold shit. We've done it for 6 months. Now it's just like, you know what? Here, the Jets seems like they're showing their hand a little bit. Now it's like, all right, at 2, do they even trade up with their second first-round pick? How do they handle it? What do they get for Darnold? There's a lot of pieces moving. There's a lot of things that can happen now, man, it makes this really, really interesting. So what we'll do, we're gonna go this one. This guy always makes me smile. So, Ghost Pepper, what's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
By the way, prime time. Near My God to Thee was a Titanic reference.
What was that?
Near My God to Thee. That was the song supposedly played by the Titanic's orchestra as they went down.
Makes sense.
That's why I put in the super chat.
Appreciate it, man.
How
your dogs doing?
I'm doing fine. You know, I'm just relaxing. You know, a little sore. I just got my second COVID shot.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I saw your videos of, man, like some people are just overreacting. I feel like there's some people in the Darnold kit that will just never like this kid just because he's not Sam Darnold. I feel like they're just going to spite him.
You're talking to one of them.
No, I don't think Primetime is like going to. I think Primetime roots for the team before the jersey. Jersey before the player.
No, dude, I've said it a million times. The second that they draft a quarterback, that's going to be my quarterback. But I'm not pushing Sam out of town, especially when you got a chance to build around him. That's my philosophy.
So. I like to mention to people that, you know, that there are rules for New York sports. I have the book. And, you know,
what are the rules?
It's an actual book. I actually bought it. Well, you know, one team per sport, obviously. A root for the team, not the player. Never bet on the Jets.
That's a fair bet. That's a fair rule.
There's a couple other ones in there, but that's the one that made me laugh. It said never bet on your favorite team, and it's a sub rule, especially if that team is the Jets. But
okay.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking forward. Obviously, yeah, I agree with all of you that it seems that Wilson is the strong pick here, and I think it's.
Well, I mean, but here's a question. But here's a question for you though. Right now, today, it's Wilson, but you have Justin Fields next week. What if he puts on a highlight reel show on his pro day? Is there any chance he can make a move and make a stake for himself, or is this kind of done already?
I feel like this is done. I was actually talking with Green Bean, and he got a text from a Jets insider that said all they were waiting for was
I got the same fucking text, man. It's some bullshit. Everybody's acting like they got a source. They said, "Oh, it's a foregone conclusion. Once he passes his medical, it's going to be Zach Wilson." Everybody got the same text, man.
I feel like Fields has fallen a lot. I don't know why. I think it's mainly because of the processing and how long it takes for him to read a defense. I think that's really hurt him, and there's still, I think, a lot of negative stigma around Ohio State quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, but that's actually not what's been the case. They're saying he actually processes the defense. He actually reads the field. He's holding on to the ball too long. He doesn't pull the trigger on it. He sees the read, just doesn't make the throw. He's very cautious with it. So that's if anything. But
I think that Wilson's going to be the guy here. I feel like Fields has fallen. I don't think there's much you can do with this late stage to boost it, because I without the combine, it really hurts these players. So there's only have the pro days to boost their stock. I don't think there's enough. I don't think he's going to put on enough in his pro day to boost his stock up.
I mean, Fields played. I mean, he played games. I mean, he's got like Zach Wilson played enough games this year, but Fields also has a resume. He was the starter last year. This year, he's got a lot of stuff. So, are you eating any peppers tonight, man, or playing any guitar? What are we doing here?
Well, I'll play an opening of a song. If the chat can guess the song, then I'll play another song next time with Ghost Peppers, because my Ghost Peppers are frozen. I'm not going to call them out.
All right. So if we guess the song, you eat a Ghost Pepper the next time you come on. That's the deal.
Yeah.
All right, prime time. You ready?
I guess I have no choice.
You already had a little lamb.
That's the song's opening. That's all I'm going to play.
What was that? Do that again. I thought you were tuning up. What was that? Try again. I mean, primetime anything?
It actually sounds familiar.
Isn't it
like isn't it like a TV intro or something?
What?
Is that a TV intro?
No, it's a song. I'll tell you who wrote. I'll tell you who wrote the song.
I thought it was a TV intro.
That song was written by the founder of Pink Floyd.
Didn't sound like it.
Well, he was a schizophrenic who overdosed on LSD and Mandrax tablets.
I thought it was Mary Had a Little Lamb. Alice in Chains. I mean, so give us the first letter of the band's name. Give us the first letter.
I'll give you his name. His name is. You want his birth name or his nickname?
His nickname.
Sid Barrett.
I mean, I have no idea. I think you stumped us, dude. We have no fucking idea.
That's the point.
No, somebody got it.
What is it? What's someone?
He said Sid Barrett. I don't know.
Who's Sid Barrett?
I have no fucking idea. I don't know what's going on here, man.
He from Pink Floyd. He wrote their first album all by himself.
Okay. So what's the name of the song? Did we name the song yet?
That's why I picked this song, because this song is an obscure song. It's on his.
What the fuck, man? You give us an obscure song, you want us to know it? What the
Right.
hell is that shit? You're out. I'm done with you. That's some bullshit. Fucking Sid Barrett and some obscure shit. What the
We're 0 for
fuck
2
are
on
we
this call
doing
right now.
here? The calls are horrendous right now.
this is
This
not a
is
good
some
start.
bullshit.
This is not a good start to the Zach Wilson era. Let me tell you.
I thought for sure he was like tuning
It's a
up his
bad
guitar.
omen.
I didn't know that
It's
was
a
a
bad
song, dude. I
omen.
thought he was like getting warmed up, and that was the actual song. Holy God, I didn't drink enough for this one tonight. Holy shit. All right, we're gonna go to Steve. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
You sound
up, Steve?
serious.
Well, I got a big job to do here. I got to turn the tide of the last two callers,
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. That was terrible.
Yeah, so obviously, like everyone said, it's another pro day. I'm not doubting Zach Wilson's ability or anything, but I think today pretty much solidified, like you guys have been saying, that we are drafting a quarterback at 2, which is interesting because I know Joe Douglas preaches building through the draft, which we thought we potentially might trade down and get a haul, but except for Carolina, I really don't see any other team that would even do it at this point.
Falcons maybe, but yeah, I mean, I think Carolina is probably the top suitor if you're at least trying to stay in the top 10. And I mean, yes, pick 12, like, there's not too much of a difference there. So, if you were looking to trade back 2 first-round picks plus a third, not sure you're going to get much more than that, which is why, yeah, I mean, I think they're probably just going to go quarterback at this point.
It's just crazy how much that Fields has fell. I mean, during the season, he was consistently the number, maybe 2/3. Like, it was 2A, 2B with him and Wilson, but now he's like definitely 4 right now. It's crazy to believe.
Do you think he can change anything? I think it's on, when's it, Tuesday? I think he was either the 30th. When does he go? Monday?
Yeah,
next week. So I mean, I think he'll do the same thing. He'll rejuvenate Twitter and social media for a little bit, but I think in reality, I still don't think he's going to be the second quarterback taken. I think it's definitely going to be Wilson, regardless if it's the Jets or we trade, whatever happens. But I think he's definitely the second off the board for quarterback.
And they're saying I guess the rumor right now is that Trey Lance is going third. Like the 49ers are really high on Lance, which is pretty wild. So then it's a wild.
Because the interesting thing with Lance is that they say that he potentially is a guy that could benefit sitting a year, but we don't know if Garoppolo is going to get traded or not. But if they do keep him, that makes sense. But also, it's a quarterback friendly system like we're bringing here, so maybe he is ready to start in a 49ers type of offense.
Interesting. So now, what do you think happens with Sam Darnold here? Now, I'm fascinated by this because now it's like based on what you think. Is his market gone? Is it diminished? Are they going to get anything? What's the return? Like, what do you think happens though? Like, you have is it going to happen like within the next week? Does it happen during the draft?
I think it's going to be draft night. I think honestly that's when it's going to heat up again. I think we're in no man's land for a little bit in terms of like this type of subject. But I think when teams get desperate during the draft, there's pressure. There's other teams calling. Something's going to happen, regardless if it's us maybe last minute trading out what no one expects going into the night, or him, maybe going to the Panthers for a second instead of them trading up for a haul like you just mentioned before.
Now, is there any scenario, which I get to ask this probably 35 times a day, where the Jets don't trade him and they keep both of them this year?
No, there's no shot. I don't think there's any shot they do that.
Prime's hoping for that shit. I know he is.
It's gonna happen. Just to drive you nuts, it's gonna happen.
That'd be funny if that did happen, but we already go through so many media highlights about random crap anyway. Imagine this fiasco, and it's constantly going to be asked to Sam himself and Zach Wilson. You don't want to put at least the 2 young guys in that situation. I don't think.
Complete fiasco.
But honestly, I am excited, in terms of the defensive line. I think it is going to help the secondary out. Even I think we are going to draft at least a corner or two, and we're going to sign one last-minute corner that no one knows, but maybe for good value, knowing Joe Douglas, which is fine. He's allocating money. He's getting multiple players, not just, 5 huge ones like the Cagnon would do, that type of thing. But, yeah, we got to see. We got to see what happens, and we got to trust the guy at this point.
Are you excited, man? Are you excited for the Zach Wilson experience?
I'm pretty excited. I can't lie. I'm still, I'm ready to move forward. But I did support Sam his entire time he was here, and he still might be here. We have no idea.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
See you guys.
Good talking to you, man.
See, prime time. We have some positivity on the show tonight. Look, see, like you see, like people are smiling a little bit more. There's a little more excitement, a little more fire, a little more just. Everybody's a little bit more rejuvenated tonight. It seems like.
I was until about 2:00 today.
We're gonna go to Jordan. What's up, man?
Yo, what up, guys? Glad to be on.
How you doing?
I guess I'm gonna bring the mood down a little bit. I'm more with Primetime on this. That I'm not. I'm just like not excited about what we've been doing in the off season. Like if you look at our positional groups, wide receiver, I'd say we're about average on. Tight end.
Wait. Average on what? Where we started in the off season to where we are right now. Has it been upgraded?
It has been upgraded. Yes.
Okay.
We were below average to now average.
Okay.
Tight end, running back, QB, O-line, in all those places, we're still below average. All holes that need to be filled. And if we want to be a competitive team, we got to look into that. The defensive line, without a doubt, is elite. I would say it's like a top 3 unit, but I don't think defensive line's going to win us, going to get us to the playoffs. Our linebackers helped the Bucks, but they had good QB. They had a lot of other upgrades.
But hold on. What's the assessment here? Is it where we started in the all season to where we're at now? Because if that's the case, the receivers are upgraded.
We started as a 2-14 team. I mean, now we might be, instead of a 2-14 team, now we might be like a 4-win team.
Based on, we didn't even draft yet, man. And it's fucking not even April.
Yeah, no, I know we could still improve past there with the draft and stuff. So I'm not counting us out. I hope that we get, because I was going to keep going linebacker. I'm actually like decently higher on CJ Mosley than you guys are. I hope that at least he can be like an average, above average player.
I wants to trade him for a 3rd-round pick.
I'd like to see him play 16 games. Can we start with that? more than half the football.
I'm hopeful that he is like, he's not going to be Pro Bowler, but I'm hopeful that he's like a good starter to above average. And then our secondary,
$18 million a year for a good starter. Jesus Christ.
And then our secondary, besides Marcus May, is kind of garbage. So I mean, this team still has a lot of holes, and I think we need to do. I hope that we get like a cornerback soon, because there's still a couple of good guys on the free market, and we need to have a good draft and hopefully fix up the O-line and hopefully get the team together. I'm not saying it's impossible at this point. It's just I don't think it's trending in the right direction for us to be competitive. But we'll see. We'll see comes August.
But I mean, they were a 2-14 team. They have a whole new coaching staff. They have a whole new they have a new quarterback, and they've added some playmakers, whether you like them or not. They've added playmakers. They're going to add more in the draft. Isn't the expectation to be a much more competitive and exciting team this year than they were last year, with maybe a more competent offense?
I agree with you, but I just see there's too many holes to fix, and I hope that we do more in free agency, because I think through the draft we're not going to be able to fix enough holes to get to that competitive level.
If they go 6-10 this year, would you be satisfied with Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I would be looking forward, excited about him. I'm kind of worried about Zach Wilson myself. I think he's kind of like a boomer bust play, as Primetime was saying, where he has like, it's just, I feel like Fields is a safer choice just because Wilson didn't play as good competition as Fields did, and I'm still higher on Fields than I am Wilson. But if Wilson comes out and proves me wrong, I would love that. So that's where I'm at.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
It was good talking to you guys. I'll talk to you again later.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
See, Primetime, I'm not even confrontational tonight. I'm letting some of the takes just fly through. No problems.
Surprised on that one.
I mean, it's a feel good Friday, man. It's Friday. It's warm outside. It's 75 degrees. Sun is out. There's change in the air. Things are good, man. This is the time to just smile. And I can see it in your shoulders. You're all tense and you're all tight and shit. Let the shoulders hang down. Loosen them up a little bit, man. Loosen up. Just kind of let the air out, man. Just kind of feel good about yourself. Things are going to be okay. I assure you. So now we're going to bring in a man that I know is very happy because he had gorgeous weather today in Germany. Mr. Sasha, what's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah.
You did your deep dive on tape, you said, right? You did some studying on the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I did. At least at some, but especially I was like chilling all day in the sun. So
what are your thoughts on Zach Wilson?
I would take him in a heartbeat.
There we go.
He's my number one quarterback. I would take him.
Over Field or over Trevor Lawrence?
Can't tell you that because I didn't watch that much of Trevor Lawrence because he won't be there. So I would definitely take Fields over Darnold, over all the other guys. So for me,
what do you like about both? I mean,
about Lawrence and Wilson.
Yep.
Wilson and Fields.
I like the arm strength of Wilson. I like the decision making. I like that he's doing get through all his reads. I like that he sets up his feet. I like the movement he has in the pocket. I like that he can escape out of the pocket. There's a lot of things I like about Wilson. I don't know. You can always say he has like, or he had like, worse worse competition. That's a thing, but that's what they said about Josh Allen, and he was in the MVP race for some reason, and I don't know.
What time is it there right now? Like what? 3 in the morning? 4 in the morning?
2:20. We're changing clocks 2 weeks, 3 weeks after you. So
cool.
Usually I'm 6 hours above, and now it's just 5.
So how many beers did you have at your barbecue today?
I hadn't had a barbecue, but I went to a party with some friends. So was pretty cool.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Have a good night. He sent me a picture today, man, in Germany. The weather was beautiful. He had like the little grill. He had the beer. And this was like noon our time. So when I saw him come on, I'm like, he's already been involved for like 10 hours doing his thing. So.
Right, full case down now.
Yeah, good for him, man. And the one thing about Sasha, to be completely honest with you guys, when we do our draft show, he knows his shit, man. Like he researches like 8th string tight ends. Remember, like it was around like 6. He's like, I want this guy and that guy and that guy. He definitely knows his stuff, man. So
well, I'm saying that's why I keep asking all these questions to try to get some info, and we're kind of 0 for 3.
He's too lit up. Usually the draft's during the day, so it's earlier.
Too lit or too late. I don't know.
It happens. We're gonna bring on Mr. Tim, who is still supporting Sam Darnold, I think. What's up, man?
I am. Yeah, I'm still supporting Sam. Although if you look at Mr. Primetime's video from earlier today, he did say, with all this honesty of his heart, that if they move on from Sam, he's cool with it because he's a Jets fan. And he just wants to win freaking football games, and that's what we all want, isn't it? Is it not?
No, of course, dude. That's
so right now, though. But right now, do you think the writing's on the wall?
I'm not sure, but although when I did took a still photo of when I saw that shot of JD and Coach Sala at today's pro day, they did look very happy. They looked really happy. You couldn't in their eyes. They looked happy.
Happy that Wilson just kind of elevated his stock and that number 2 pick has some more value potentially.
Bottom line is these. You want some epiphany? You want a couple of epiphanies?
Please, I need some.
I love epiphanies.
The number one is these fucking pro days are a joke. Okay, because you know what? Unless of course you're Trevor or Sam. Because when I watched the Sam pro day, the guy was amazing. Trevor was amazing. I saw the Trey Lance pro day. Today's what's his nuts Zach Wilson pro day. I wasn't that impressed. They didn't really seem like.
Wait! You watched Zach Wilson's pro day today. And you weren't impressed by his arm strength and his ability to sling the ball over the place.
He didn't look that much better than what I saw from Sam's pro day, which I watched the tape from today.
In fairness, Tyson, Lance Zierlein was, again, I told you earlier, he was kind of saying the same thing on the NFL Network. He looked good, but wasn't anything like overwhelming, like wasn't anything amazing that he saw. And he said that like a lot of the plays that they were running were just kind of like scripted to, essentially.
Well, they're all scripted. They're all
which is what they do for almost every quarterback. Yeah,
it's a show. It's a show. I mean, it's a necessary show. I think going from where we were last year, where JD was falling asleep in the box, but to now, I think he's really talk about rehabilitating your reputation. I think JD has gone a long way, but if he screws this up, it's going to blow up.
Hold on. I don't think JD hasn't gone anywhere yet because
they've made some decent moves.
No, but if we're going to be fair, and I'm trying to be fair, is listen, I like what he did with Lawson. I like what he did the wide receiver group. Right now, he has an enormous hole at the cornerback position, and the offensive line is a disaster. So we expect a lot more. And now the Jets have like $17 million in cap space. So they're going to have to start cutting guys, which when you start cutting the Van Rotens and the Alex Lewis and all the other guys, that's when you're going to have your holes that you have to fix. So Joe Douglas has a shitload to prove in this draft, especially in the offensive line of corner. So I'm not giving him any credit because he has to earn it.
Nothing?
No, for what? What am I giving him credit for? He had the most cap space going into this. He made some good moves. But the biggest holes right now are probably concerning as shit, especially the offensive line.
So he's got a lot to prove. Last week and you fought with me.
No, but I'm saying to say he's done a really good job. He's got a lot to prove. He's putting the premium on the draft because he's a build through the draft guy. But he better build through the draft now. He's betting on himself right now.
April 29th, where our world will be determined, right?
I mean, I just find it weird that almost every day offensive linemen are getting signed all throughout the NFL, and the Jets aren't one of those teams. It's just remarkable. Like even if it's a fringe fucking guy, like we have, what the hell's the guy's name? Freeney, whatever his name is?
Dan Feeney, yeah.
That's the only guy we need in free agency right now? It's wild, dude.
There's still time.
Oh, no, there's time, but like to say, like...
There's time, but why not make that a priority, though, with all the money you had?
It's just weird how he's doing that.
Yeah, no, I know
the
whole Fooney thing really bothered Mr. P.
No, I don't give a fuck about Fooney. I've got the other 40 guys that have been signed since then. None of them are a fit for the Jets, and they're not getting big contracts. 1 year, $4 million, 1 year, $5 million. Like we can't none of these guys interest our team at all.
Well, why do you think
weird?
Why do you think JD's like lagging on the O line then?
He's betting on himself with the draft, or listen, he can go out and sign 2 guys tomorrow and just kick me in the ass with it. But I'm just, from an outsider not knowing every free agent known to man in the NFL, I just find it weird that our biggest hole coming into this offseason was offensive line. We've only signed one guy. I mean, he could do things, but it's just weird how they're doing this. It's a very strange approach to me.
It's a tough job. I mean, having followed this, it's a tough job what JD is doing.
How the fuck is it a tough job? You go out and
you gotta manage everybody's expectations. You gotta make the right draft picks. You gotta sign the right people. You gotta answer
That's
to
what he's
Woody.
Getting paid for.
Well, he probably makes a lot of money.
There's only 32 jobs in the NFL. He has one of them. You make the most of it and you do your job and you do it well, or you get fired in 3 years.
Well, exactly.
Made for him.
They looked happy today. But
they looked happy as shit today. But the only thing is, to me, it's like he's had an entire offseason throughout that whole 2-14 campaign. It was obvious the offensive line was a complete disaster. Obvious. So he's had nothing but time in his hands to figure out what's my blueprint in the offseason. So this is obviously his blueprint, I guess. So it's just, to me, I find it strange. Now, he can draft 2 guards or do whatever he wants, or maybe he likes Van Roten. I have no idea. It's just weird, man. I find the approach weird. It's not the end of the world yet, but it's just weird.
I thought you guys didn't like Van Roten.
Did Darnold just get traded?
What?
What are you saying?
I just got a text from somebody, and somebody said something in the chat, and then somebody just texted me.
What happened?
Don't fuck with me.
Well, that would certainly resolve
I
the
haven't gotten
mystery.
anything yet.
I would shed tears.
Yeah, well,
I hope it's not. I hope people are just
No, I
fucking
doubt
with
it.
We love Sam. What are you going to do? But but again, the pro days don't impress me. I'm sorry. It's just a silly show.
Hey, listen.
It's easy shit.
Listen, like my expectation going today was I knew he was going to show off his arm. I mean, Dan Orlovsky said, they said, expect this kid to throw the leather off the football. He did. To me, there were certain things where just his quickness, like the flick of the wrist, that he makes some throws. You're like, Jesus Christ, like that's impressive. Other than that, it's like, you know what? His shoulder checks out, pass your physical, meet with your coaches, make sure your personality matches with LaFleur, and then they all move. So we'll see what happens.
I just want to know, one thing I really want to know is, why is Cassandra not coming on the show anymore? I saw a comment said she's only commenting, she's not coming on.
She's scared.
Oh, it wasn't the cost of the cross border like charges or whatever.
Oh, come on. She does her work on social media.
I almost did have a heart attack.
No, if they trade Sam,
I can't handle that live.
What do you mean? What do you mean? If it's just a matter of time at this point.
You know, Sam's value is going up. Every fucking second we sit here, Sam's value is going up, up, and up. Because you know what? He's good. He's good and he's tough. And the fact that everybody in the whole nation really is talking about this.
Wait, you say it's going, well, how's his value going up?
It's going up because every show that you watch, they're talking about Sam Darnold. They're talking about the Jets. People
not in a positive light.
Yeah, no, they are.
They are?
People, yes. People,
Mel Kiper, McShay, Orlovsky, they do say a lot of good things about Sam.
Sam's going to have a bright future, man, and I'm going to be bummed as shit when he leaves. But if he does leave, I'm still a Jets fan. I still want wins. I trust JD. I trust Coach Saleh. I trust Dallas Point.
There's no way his value's going up right now at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't. But why do you say that? Because he's an exciting, dynamic.
Because the market's diminished.
Because
the 49ers just traded up.
More and more teams are filling their needs at quarterback already. Jaguars have their guy. The Niners just traded up. Maybe Washington, maybe a team like Denver or somebody, maybe Carolina if they don't get their guy at 8. But your options are kind of limited now.
Now, who was the new guy that said that Sam's the franchise? Was he just talking smack or just what was it? What Corey, I guess his name is?
No, Corey Davis wasn't talking.
He was asked a question, about who the quarterback was going to be, and he said, to his knowledge, it's Sam. But that could easily have been something that the team told him to say.
Listen, what he does,
he's a veteran who knows how to answer those questions. Also, I'm not reading even too much.
You say the guy that's a starting quarterback on your team as of today. So today it's Sam Darnold. That's the guy I came here to play for. And the minute Sam leaves, I came here for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, good, exactly. Professionalism.
Yep.
And that's why, like, when the fact that Justin Fields can't deal with the second and third reads, Johnny Manziel or Zach Wilson's going to blow up as soon as he comes into New York, and gets into the party scene like James Harden gets into the party scene. He's going to blow up. A few interceptions. I'm going a little nuts now. But as soon as
I think so,
a couple interceptions. But bottom line, bros, if Sam goes, God bless him. If we pick Zach, I'm behind him 100%. Behind
Tim, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
See you kids soon.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
This has been a unique night for calls. Is unique a good word?
Very. That's a nice word.
So do you want a prime time? I'm going to give you an option. Do you want to go with a guaranteed disaster or not a guaranteed disaster?
We need Afram right now.
Nope, that's not the option. You got guaranteed disaster or just a maybe disaster.
Might as well just keep going with disasters. Get them out of the way.
All right, Waffle Wire, what's up, man?
What's up, boys? You see me?
How you doing?
You see me?
Yep.
All right. What's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm really impressed with Zach Wilson. I'm very, very impressed. Prime time. Listen to me. Listen to me right now. Listen to me. Listen. I want to talk about Sam. Listen. I have a question about you. I have a question for you. Do you think Sam is more valuable than Fields and Wilson?
What do you mean more valuable? Like a better quarterback than them,
what?
I don't think he has more. I don't think he has more value than them because he's been in the league for 3 years. If a team wants a quarterback, probably
just give me your main reason why you want Sam back. Listen to me. I'm a Sam fan.
Okay, I can give you plenty of reasons why I want Sam back.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'll list all of them, which are pretty much all on Cassandra's bingo sheet. If you want to go check it out, he's a 23-year-old kid who has plenty of talent.
We got to do this again.
Yes, I'll do it just to make Waffle Wire happy. 23-year-old kid, plenty of talent. First 2 years, was anybody saying anything about his arm strength or his ability? I didn't hear anything,
I gotta
right?
get more Trulies. I can't take
Yeah,
this
you
shit.
can go do that. I'll keep going here. So you bring him into a situation where you have a head coach on the hot seat, right? So then you fire that coach after 1 year. Then you let that GM spend $100 million for the head coach that is then going to get him fired to hire his own GM. And then you bring in a head coach who his system is fucking complete garbage. Never did one thing to elevate Sam. Nothing with a hurry up offense, up tempo, scheming guys open. None of that. He got his ass beat almost every single game. Offensive line's been shit all 3 years. Not to mention the past 2 years, they've had how many injuries on that O-line? You look at the receivers, which we said weren't even good enough going into the season. The top 3 were injured almost half the year. I mean, how much more do you want? You could look at examples like guys like fucking Drew Brees, Eli Manning in their 3rd year. What were they? Even into his 4th year, Eli Manning wasn't shit yet. So there are plenty of examples out there of young quarterbacks who didn't get it into year 2 or year 3.
Oh, okay, but listen. But I understand that. I understand. I think Sam still has a chance to be good in a way. But listen, I think I'd rather go with Fields or Wilson because one, they're better prospects compared to what Sam was at USC.
No,
and
I completely disagree
and
with
another
that.
big reason is this: you have a first-year head coach in Robert Saleh, who probably just wants to build the team on his own, and then you got Joe Douglas, a guy, the GM that didn't pick him, and he's gonna want his own guy. So, I don't really see it. I'd kind of be shocked if we keep Sam.
I'm all well and good with Joe Douglas, taking his own guy. I completely get that, but don't dismiss a quarterback that you might already have on your roster that's still young, that's still incredibly talented, that also offers you an opportunity to have extra draft picks. And for a guy that wants to build around the draft, what's better than having 7 fucking first-round picks over the next 3 years, which they clearly could have had?
I know that's
make that trade down.
That's the positive about keeping Sam. You'll get a load picks back. That's the positive.
And there is zero commitment. You could either play with him for 1 year, you could pick up his 5th-year option, keep him for 2 years. You'd have all those draft picks. You could trade for a veteran quarterback. You could trade up, draft a quarterback. You'd have every single option on the table.
Maybe I can do 2 at one time. Is it possible?
But Brian, listen.
Let's try to go like 3 at one time.
Brian, listen.
There's nothing you can tell about anything as far as stats or what he's done on film that's going to make it a fair evaluation as far as the situation he's been put in.
But listen to this. Okay.
I hate you for this, Waffle Wire. I hate you for this fucking phone call. This show has become boring because of your phone call.
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Your conversation is boring as fuck, dude. Like,
No, it's
I've lost
not.
interest. Like, I'm literally not listening to either one of you. I lost interest. This is boring as fuck. This is like so like January conversation right now.
He wanted it, so
I'm trying to drink. Look, your call is so bad. I'm double fisting. I'm drinking a fucking like vodka and Truly at the same fucking time because of you. God damn, man, it's terrible. That's it. You're done. I can't take no more, dude. Fuck, this is terrible. This is as bad. This is worse than I thought it was gonna be. That was terrible.
Call's been terrible tonight.
See what this show makes me do. Fuck.
This isn't a good open for the start of Zach.
We're gonna go to Jomo. Jomo, what's up, man?
Tyson, this is exactly why you're the GOAT.
What are we doing here? What the hell is in your background? Trees? What is that? A mountain behind you?
Yeah, it's a nice little tapestry.
It's like Switzerland or something. What is that?
Something like that. It's a nice little scenery that I don't have down here in Florida. So
nice,
But so let's get into everything that happened today. I think a lot unraveled.
So do you think Do you think the 49ers trade kind of shows the Jets' hand now?
Oh, hell yeah. Because think about it this way. You know that the Niners called us. And that was the perfect deal to build around Sam. And you can't argue that it wasn't. You cannot. Joe Douglas can't argue that it wasn't. Joe Douglas knows that it was. And he turned it down. So, honestly, Sam is probably a goner. And I think Wilson will probably be the guy. I mean, Wilson, did you see that? What was it, 57 yards? Freaking. Oh, man. I've never seen Sam do some shit like that.
Well,
I'm trying to be honest here. I was talking to my brother about this earlier.
Yes, actually, Darnold made almost that exact same play against, who is it? The touchdown to Berrios.
But in a live game, every throw I've seen. Like Darnold, when he throws it live,
it was going to his left
don't have
across
that
his body.
velocity.
It was actually a missile that he threw to Berrios for like 30, 35 yards. It wasn't a floater that Zach Wilson
Are you
did.
talking about the drop?
No, I'm
Berrios
talking.
drop. That throw was
the
amazing.
actual touchdown. I think it was the Niner game, week 2.
At the end of the game and in garbage time, it was a nice throw, but
same kind of throw.
No, man, it's that. I think that really unraveled everything. Like, you know what Douglas is going to do. I mean, you can't.
But here's a question though. Here's a question though. Is there going to be a team, maybe the Panthers, that can offer more than the 49ers did to move up?
Even if they do, like, what's the difference? 4 spots? Like, he already turned it down.
No, I'm saying in terms of draft compensation, though. Say the Panthers are at 8 and they offered you more than the 49ers offered, which I don't know. That's a lot. I mean, say they offer 5 first round
I would
picks.
take it. I love Sam. Like, I think Wilson is a better prospect, but I love Sam. I think he'll be a great quarterback wherever he goes.
Wait.
I think he'll go to
You do wait. You love Sam, but you just said you think Wilson's a better prospect. If Wilson's a better prospect, then why wouldn't you want him?
Well, I think the haul that you could get with Sam, you just build around him and you got a winning team.
But if you want the better quarterback, though?
I mean, it's like
how much better?
I don't think there's that much of a gap. Yeah,
I'm asking
exactly.
him.
Like,
he said he was a better prospect. I'm just a fan here.
I think he's got a stronger arm with more
better?
velocity, but I don't think there's that much of a gap between the two. I mean, it's like 10 and 11. You know what I mean? Like, there's not that much of a gap. I think they both could be good in this league. I think wherever Sam goes, I think he's going to flourish. But you saw Joe Douglas turn that deal down. Why would he just take it from another team? Like,
so if you think that Sam has that kind of value, what's going to be the market for him? Is there going to be teams bidding for him?
If we trade him, I'm hoping that we trade like him with the 34 and maybe we get the Washington 15, or maybe we could do that with the Bears. Like I said on the show, I don't remember, the Tuesday show. I mean, the free agency changed absolutely nothing in the Sam market. Signing Fitzpatrick, signing Dalton, that changes absolutely nothing. They're backups. Like, they're veteran backups that could help Sam, obviously. And wherever he goes, like, even the Panthers, I think the Panthers will be a team that he could go to as well.
Makes the most sense.
I don't think we could get the 8 for him.
Nope.
I think that's a little that's a stretch. I think maybe we could get their second round pick. You know, but that's a viable option because the Panthers, I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're a quarterback away. Maybe they're a quarterback away from a wild card spot, but they're not a quarterback away from winning that division by any means. You know what I'm saying?
So if they make that move, they're doing it because they can't get the quarterback they want in the draft because the top 4 picks will be quarterbacks. So you say, you know what? We'll take a flyer on Darnold and see what happens. And they still have pieces down there. They're a team on the rise too, man. They're young coaching staff and all the
Yeah, they got a nice coaching staff too. They got a nice wideouts. They got the running back. They're looking good. But as far as them trading for number 2, I don't think that's an option for them. I don't.
You know what it is. They set the standard now. Now you know what the 49ers offer. You get to match that, and that's a lot, man.
And I didn't think. Did you think that a top pick was going to get that much? I didn't.
I was shocked. Today shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I was completely shocked by today.
I was pissed, honestly, because I wanted to go the stick with Sam route, build around him. So I was pretty pissed when I saw that. I was pissed. And then they came back up to 6.
You were pissed. Yes, imagine this guy over here.
I know, man. Prime time. My brother.
His mentions on Twitter.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You still think there's a price that Joe Douglas has for that number 2 pick where he would still consider trading it or no?
I mean,
there's got to be.
Maybe if he's getting Carolina's first and second for the next 3 years, maybe. But it's got to be like blow your socks off type shit. Like, I don't really think there's anything. If he turned that down, man, like, that's a crazy haul. That is the perfect haul that you could get to build around him. And he turned it down. I
agree.
He turned it down. I mean, maybe some pact in the NFL, man, that you can't trade with your former team after leaving for Saleh, but who knows, man? Like, that was right there.
He either has another deal lined up or he knows what he's doing with this, and he's going to
make this work. And you know what? I was thinking this before, like, if they have already gotten calls about Sam, they know his value.
Yep.
And like I said, the value.
Well, I think that's why they haven't traded him yet. They probably have a first round value on him, or they're trying to get a first round.
Right, but that's also why they're not They're not
Which is why I
taking
think
that
he could
freaking.
go into the season with, if they do draft a quarterback and you got both those guys and Sam maybe
Oh, but
start
that would be
try
a
to up his
nightmare,
value
man.
before the trade deadline or something like that, just in case your
That'd be a
rookie's not ready.
nightmare. I don't
Jimbo,
know.
thanks
You
for
can't
calling
go
it,
that
man. We
route.
appreciate it. This is actually a good call.
Hey.
You did good this time.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one, guys. Love the
Have a
show.
good night. So, prime time, Rose has been firing out all kinds of shit. It's been funny. I've been seeing him, but the calls have been distracting. But she's on a roll tonight, man. She's had a couple doozies. Yep. So Rose is not banned. She's never banned. We tolerate her because she's pretty consistent the entire time. She just hates us. So it's, you know. Let's see. We're gonna do good. Jack. Jack, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing,
What's up,
man?
Good. Big fan of you guys. You know, going back, I've been trying to get on for a little bit, but going back to when you guys were on with the mental health stuff, that was pretty cool to see you guys do it.
Oh, appreciate
So, Prime Time, I got a couple questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Last week when you were on your roid rage about his JD's lack of movement, especially with Dooney, you were making some shots talking about how you were saying how you didn't like, or you weren't a big fan of the Lawson signing, especially because if he doesn't turn out right, you know, with large sack numbers, essentially comparing him to what? Sorry, you go.
just really quick with Lawson. I mean, I think he's a talented young player, 26 years old. But my point with that was that you're paying him to do something that he hasn't done yet in his career, which I think is to be a double-digit sack guy. If he comes here and he does what he did in Cincinnati, I don't think we're going to view that as a valuable signing or a signing where, you know, we got our money's worth. So when you're paying a guy $15 million, I think you expect him to be sort of a game changer, somebody that, you know, has 11 to 13 sacks. You know, they're getting those big strip sacks at the end of the game, making plays like that. And so I think that was part of the reason why we drove Leonard Williams out of town, because he wasn't that guy. I know completely, you know, different positions and everything, completely different players, but he wasn't that impact player, that game changer. And so, you know, we didn't want to pay a guy like that $15 million. So I wonder if Carl Lawson comes here and he's, you know, a guy that gets a lot of hurries, you know, a lot of quarterback hits, but he's not finishing with the sacks. Is that going to be worth $15 million per? When you could have had a guy maybe like Harry Hyder for 3 years at $15 million.
But would you still call it a failure then if, say, Quentin Williams' sack numbers go through the roof, like double or triple? You know, just the overall team sack numbers go up because you're just generating that much pressure between John Franklin Myers, Lawson, Q. You know,
if he's actually wreaking a lot of havoc himself, then okay, and he's just not finishing, but other guys are getting there because of what he's doing, and there's so much focus on him. Okay, but that's got to be a lot though for $15 million. I mean, I'm expecting that guy to make a lot of big plays for me.
I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of how Salah operates with some, or the whole is greater than the individual parts. So I don't know.
So if that's the case, I mean, is it worth paying $15 million then?
15, I would say so, because on an edge with generating that much pressure, especially on a 4-man front, you're going to get that much pressure. You know, you can only have so many double teams going. It's like if you're going to double team Lawson, you're taking, you know, chances are Q's going to be on a single, Curry might be on a single, John Franklin Myers, all those guys are, you know, you can't plug all the holes, especially if you send an extra linebacker down there with it.
I think you kind of bank on Salah too to use him in a variety of roles and to maximize his potential as a pass rusher. Man, that's kind of what he's brought here for. Like that's he's supposed to be like a defensive guru, very innovative with his blitz packages. I mean, I think he's going to be great, man. I think he's super explosive. He's an excellent talent. But Primetime's right though. Listen, if he's got to get you good 10 sacks, 12 sacks, and if he only gives you 8, but he's completely disrupted to the point where they got to account for him and Quentin Williams is creating havoc in the middle, that's value too. If Quentin Williams becomes like a 15 sack guy because Lawson's creating is a nightmare on the outside, that's a positive too. There's a lot of ways it could work, but he's got to get to the quarterback, man. He has to consistently.
Okay. And the other question I had for you is, you know, we're talking about trade values with say like the Panthers or something. If we were to trade down, isn't there a rule that we can, you know, teams can only give out picks in 3 years in advance?
I know in the NBA, I know in the NBA that's a rule. I think
I could have sworn I've read that somewhere saying that.
Not positive that's for the NFL.
Yeah, that I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because if that's the case, then Carolina at most they can only offer us 3 firsts, and with the rate that you just saw that we got from, or that, you know, San Fran traded up to with Miami, I don't think there's realistically a team that could, you know, throw out enough picks. It's like you're gonna have to start talking about players almost like they're ridiculous levels that
Throwing Robbie Anderson.
Get him back.
Yeah, that one we should have would been nice.
I guess you could still get like 3 firsts, and you'd also get a pick that's still in the top 10, and you could still maybe get like a second rounder, third rounder, throw something else in there.
Picks and yeah.
Yeah, but even with that though, it's like I don't know.
The bar's set high, man. Now you know what the market is. So now it's like do you go up? Do you go try to go up to 2, or say no? Fuck that. I'll go to 4 and take a Justin Fields or somebody else. Like it depends on how they evaluate what the drop off is from the top, the number 2 quarterback, number 4 quarterback.
Yeah,
that's it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it was funny. I was commenting back and forth with Jack, the other Jack on one of your one of your streams. Yeah, he's stubborn. Just saying, like, if we trade back to 4, and then if we kept Sam for a year, and then let him essentially tell him, say like, hey, we're gonna let you ride out the rest of this. You're playing for your next contract. Essentially, it's otherwise, find your next contract. We're gonna let Fields or not Fields, Lance sit there for a little bit. He's gonna get used to the new system.
I think today determined a lot, man. I think that you can trade him down to 4. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I think this is. I mean, what do you think so prime time? But I think they're not going back to 4. I think this is. They got to be blown away with an incredible offer. Or they're staying where they're at.
Unless maybe they love Sewell or somebody like that they really want in the top 6 or something. But I don't know. Oh, I'm trying to.
Jack, thanks for coming, man. We appreciate it.
See ya.
Have a good night.
So we had 2 back-to-back good calls, man. We're starting to salvage this a little bit here. We're salvaging things. So we're going to go here. We got, but maybe Douglas declined because they didn't want to fall as low as 12 overall. Today only made the second pick more valuable. It doesn't mean take Zach. The second pick is extremely valuable, but the problem is, I mean, that third, you saw what it takes to go up to 3, man.
It definitely doesn't mean it definitely doesn't mean we take Zach, but all the signs are pointing to it. So
yep. I mean, the Jets. I mean, if the Jets are offered that kind of package, you want more than that to get rid of your number 2 pick now. So it's fascinating, man.
Not for nothing though. I mean, in the early Joe Douglas era, it seems like when all the signs are pointing towards one thing, usually the opposite happens.
I completely agree. Like that's what is this? Where is this? Am I allowed to call in and scream at prime time? No, we're not going to scream at anybody. We're gonna just it's a feel good Friday, man. It's a feel good Friday today.
Yeah, save the screaming for Tuesday.
Jack's you've been looking good being in the water for over 100 years. There is the Rose that we all know and love. I'd like for Rose to join the show one time just to see who he is. It's got to be a dude, man. There's no way it's a female. It's definitely a dude that's just embracing this.
Too angry.
Yeah. So what we will do, we will go to Mr. Celebrity, who Russell Wilson's still part of his team
for now.
I mean, is Sam Darnold maybe going to go there? Who knows? Mr. Jose.
Hi, how are you?
What's up,
how you doing, man?
Tyson?
Yes, sir.
Scooby?
What's up, man?
Scooby? Hey,
Scooby, I don't know.
You are.
Why am I Scooby?
Sam and Shaggy. You're Scooby.
Bullshit. At least let me mourn for like a couple hours, a full day.
I'm not that nice.
You're not that nice.
I'm well aware.
Jose's Twitter game is strong.
I see your tweets too. Yeah.
I've been sick all week. My dog died on Wednesday.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Give me a fucking break.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Because I'm not crying over Sam.
I'm not crying either.
You are.
I'm upset.
Let me say the world's smallest violin.
He's just angry. Jose, here's a question for you. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Zach Wilson, man? Did his arm strength impress you today?
Well, it did, but I'm not gonna follow Tyrone because I'm like, when I say something, I mean it. Justin Fields is still my guy.
Okay.
Unlike Tyrone.
Oh, Tyrone already waffled today. He already changed his opinion today.
I know. Shout out to Cassandra.
Yeah, she roasted him too with a nice little image. So Jose, so what are your thoughts, man? Is Zach Wilson going to save the Jets?
I'll let you know after the rookie season.
All right, so how about this? Here's a better question for you.
What kind of shit is that? You avoids the question? We don't press? Come on, answer the question.
How about this, Jose? What do you, since Russell Wilson's going to be traded, the Seahawks are trading Russell Wilson. What are you ready to give the Jets for Sam Darnold? Because you need Sam Darnold now. Sam Darnold needs you. You need Sam Darnold. What are you giving us to get him?
A bottle of Gatorade.
It's gotta be Gatorade Zero though, because Primetime's on a diet. We got sugar-free Gatorade though.
You still didn't answer the question. Is Zach Wilson ready to lead the Jets?
No. Justin Fields is. Zach Wilson isn't.
That's not a bad take. That's a good
Neither
take.
is Sam. Sam isn't ready to lead the Jets.
You got to get that shot in though.
Of course. We're going back to Sam.
Oh shit. Okay, Jose, you got any good hot takes before we let you go?
Yeah. I got two words for you. Shotgun, bitch.
Oh, that's right. The Rutgers. You got a shotgun. That's right. Jose, you are the man. You are the man, dude. That is right. You're absolutely right.
Do it now.
That is absolutely right. You are fucking so right. Dude, Jose, you're the man. I forgot all about that. I love that.
That's why you have me. That's why you have me.
So great. I forgot all about that. He hated on Rutgers. Up in his face.
That's why you have me.
You are a genius. You are an absolute
shotgun.
That is shotgun. Dude. You're the best. You are the absolute best. I forgot all about that. This is call the week, call the night. This is perfect.
Forget defense. The new trend is shotgun.
This is perfect.
Cheers.
So great. I forgot all about this. Oh, what the hell was that? He just shot the shit. What the fuck? What the hell did you just do? All over the computer, over the fucking screen? What are we doing here? Seriously. This is some amateur hour shit right here. This is terrible. Probably half the can's empty now. It's over the goddamn screen.
That reminded me of my ex.
Jesus Christ. What the hell? What the fuck was that?
That was like straight preseason for him. That was bad.
What's up, Jose?
That reminded me of my ex.
Jose, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Have a good night. I'm so glad. I forgot all about that.
That shit sprayed everywhere.
What a disaster. Absolute fucking disaster you are. We'll bring on the voice of reason. Afram, what's up, man?
I don't know about the voice of reason, but it's a voice.
So, Afram, can you give us your analysis of primetime shotgun just now? Because you cannot be impressed by that.
I think he's a little down and out over what happened today, so he's not 100% into anything. I don't blame him. I feel for him. I did like Sam when he was drafted, and I think he got a bum rap. But unfortunately, business is business.
See, the question is, do you think that all of these the trade today ruined Primetime's ability to shotgun correctly?
I don't think he's 100% in right now. I think he's depressed. He's depressed, and I don't blame you. Listen, he got a raw deal, and I understand where you're coming from. He got a raw deal, and he never got a chance to prove himself, unfortunately, with what he had.
Who, Primetime or Sam Darnold?
Both of
Sam
us.
Darnold. Now, Primetime, I respect Primetime quite a bit.
Not after that shotgun, man. That was terrible. That was some amateur hour stuff there. That was.
Hey, sometimes you make the throws, sometimes you don't.
The story of Sam Darnold.
Stop. Listen.
That was a bad one.
Sam, I think, still has a shot. I think with the Broncos or with the Panthers. I think there might be a issue where they might want to swap picks at some point. Make some sort of deal, get an extra pick, and then may have it swap something to that effect. Broncos as well.
But do you think the Jets now are staying at 2? There is not going to be a package that they can receive to get out of 2?
It would have to be overwhelming. And I think he says he wants to build through the draft. He always made that clear. But he also made clear that the most important position on the team is the quarterback.
Yep.
So those are 2 statements he made. One thing that struck me is why he never. I know he wasn't going to make a trade until he knew for sure who his quarterback was going to be, because he was not going to let go of Sam. But I'm surprised that there was, or maybe it still works. I would have thought that he would have made some sort of deal with the Eagles and then have like a quarterback competition with Jalen Rose, because I tell you,
Jalen Rose, Jalen Hurts.
I mean, Jalen Hurts. Maybe Jalen Rose. Who knows?
You got basketball in the mind?
Yeah, he's a tall guy. He's a tall guy. But and especially after what Flacco said, he said, "I'm not here to teach anybody." I mean, why do you even say that? Either you're a team player or not. Don't. I'm not here to teach. Well, guess what? You're not here to start either. So get with it. On the thing that you said with Lawson, to me, if they could increase the 3 and outs on the field, that to me is worth every penny, no matter who they put. Because I'm tired of 3 and 14, and they're back to, I want that defense off the field as much as possible. I want that, and if it means quarterback hurries and they're not making the passes because the defense is knocking them out or forcing them to throw bad passes, and they're off the field, to me that's worth it. I mean, I grew up with watching Marino on 3 and 23, and he throws a 24-yarder. It just drove me nuts.
We saw a 3rd and 34 this year. Wasn't that 3rd and 34 or some shit?
Yep. Was it who was that? Was that
49ers?
49ers. Yes. Oh my God, it was just incredible.
Hey, Afram, hold on one second. Hey, Rose, do me a favor. Learn how to spell, would you please? I mean, if you're gonna insult this, spell the words right. Just little words of wisdom for Rose.
But listen. I'm not gonna grade JD until he complete the whole after the draft. But I respect that he has a plan and he's sticking to it. How he goes about it.
Today made things interesting, man. Today made things very interesting.
Yeah, and how he goes about it, we don't know yet, because, like you said, it's strange how he's doing it. But it's like you said, when we think he's doing one thing, he's doing something else. Yep. The thing about Wilson that I liked, because I read about one time. I think they did an interview with someone of his coaches or trainers or something. He recognized his faults in the 2019 season, and he worked hard to improve himself. And you see what the results were. Well, I kind of like that he saw that there's always room to get better, and that's his mindset. So I appreciate out of a quarterback. He knows that he's got to constantly improve. I do think that they're going to pick him, and it's just too obvious. Like I said, I think they were just waiting to see him up close, to talk to him a little bit, and basically check out him medically, because that's the whole thing.
And they were all smiles today, man.
Yeah. On another note, on a side topic, I was perusing through YouTube, and I was looking at your Primetime's videos of Let's Talk Football. No, I loved it. I loved the table. I loved the way you had that whole thing set up. It was fantastic. I wish you could do more, but I understand between school and with work, school, and that it's very difficult. But it was really, I like the second. I know the original when Let's Talk Jets Football. You had that opening of the city scene, and then you had the logo come in.
Yeah, that was the show that we were doing for a while with Rob Carpenter and Fireman Ed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the one later on was the up close of the logo. You take different angles, and then all of a sudden you came up. I like that better. I thought
he's a celebrity, man. I told you he's a celebrity. He's a big time guy.
He does a great job. It was a great job. I appreciate it. The only thing that I didn't care for Not that I didn't care for, I just didn't understand. And I think it was Jay singing the parody of "We Didn't Start the Fire" and about the Jets.
Well, he didn't sing that. That was a video I think that he found off of YouTube.
You sure? Because it sounds just like him.
No,
but
yeah. Oh, no. Are you talking about the Woody Johnson one or the Cleveland Brown one? There were two different parodies that we did.
He did. He used the music from "We Didn't Start the Fire" and he put his Jet quotes in, and you have the lyrics on the screen.
That one was him. Yes, that one was him.
Yeah. And plus, he took credit about I think they interviewed him on Fox 5 or something like that about the banner.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate what you and I looked and I saw you, Tyson, also doing your interviews. You guys put in a lot of work and it's really nice. It's a shame that of course you have other jobs there, but you guys do good work. I like the thing that you did. You had the interviews and all that. So a lot of them with Fireman Ed. So but he's in the parking lot.
A lot more parking lot interviews this year, hopefully.
We used to argue all the time. I used to argue with Ed all the time before every game. We used to fight.
Yeah, but no, it was good. But
be some good content.
Overall, listen, let's wait and see with the draft. There's more time left. We got another month right now before anything happens. And we is it down to 17 million for the Jets and the cap?
It's somewhere around
17. 17 million.
Yeah. So I mean, if they, they're going to gain 10 million if they trade Sam, and so but they'll probably use that for the draft.
I think it's only 5 million because the his roster bonus I think was prorated.
Yeah, but you can get rid of like Lewis and McGovern, and there's other things you could do.
Plus, you'd cut them though. You're going to cut those guys at June 1 because you gain a lot more money. But hey, guys, keep doing what you're doing. I love talking to you guys. Be well.
Have a good night, man.
Thank you.
Don't fight. We debate. Remember that.
That's right. We only debate.
We only debate, you and I. I didn't fight with you that Tuesday. We only debated.
Good.
So yeah. Okay.
Have a good night.
Well said.
I think I fought with every caller on Tuesday.
Yeah, you were in a mood.
Oh, I was just fired up, man. I had to get some life to the show with Tyrone waffling, and you're quiet because you're late. I mean, it's just I had to take care of some business.
I'll be back Tuesday, 8:00.
Has Shotgun Circuit ever won a shotgun bet?
I think I won.
I don't think so.
Not many. One?
Maybe one.
I thought I won. Didn't like Mim score or somebody score where you have to do a shotgun?
You won one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one. All right. We will go to our good friend, one of my favorite callers on Tuesday nights, John and Lakehurst.
Fucking Wi-Fi is coming out now.
Oh, he's there, but he's not there.
I left yours in the sink.
He doesn't know he's even on right now. Should we just listen to him talk to his friends?
Oh,
could do.
There you go.
What's up, dude?
Coming in and out on Afrin's call. So I'm like, is it my Wi-Fi? What's going on? Because that windstorm or whatever. And then I was talking to somebody else. They were like, "Where's my shot glass?" So it's in the sink. No. What'd you guys think of the pro day today?
What did you think about it today?
I was fired up about it, man. I think he looked better than expected. Hold on, let me shut off this. I'm sitting right next to the air conditioner. I thought he looked really good. He made all the throws. I don't know. He looked really good. And
so what do you
zip off the ball?
But what are your thoughts? I guess we kind of expected him to do had a really good performance today with the arm strength. But was the 49ers trade, how much did that open your eyes in terms of what the Jets are going to do and kind of like where they stand now with their number 2 pick?
That opened my eyes when the Eagles traded back and the Dolphins traded back up.
Yep.
Because you figure you got Saleh and his connections, and then you got the Eagle connections to Joe Douglas. And once the Eagles traded back, it was like the Eagles aren't moving up for a quarterback, and the 49ers really couldn't get the second pick on the quarterback. I don't think Joe Douglas is willing to budge off that. I don't think we're trading back at all.
That was my initial impression too, even before the Philadelphia trade. Just if you're the Niners and you're trying to move up to get your quarterback, what would you rather have, the 3rd pick or the 2nd pick? A guarantee that you get your guy, or you hope that you get your top choice?
Right. Once they traded that freight and and they didn't go up to the second pick, and it wasn't a trade with the Jets, I think it was a wrap that we're staying at 2.
Yep.
Whether that's Wilson or Fields is yet to be determined, but I think we're taking a quarterback. I mean, but
Can't be
Wilson,
sold. Can't be sold. No.
was it? So, man, and Kevin, your fucking shotgun dude made me laugh so hard. That was so
Fucking
funny.
horrendous, wasn't it? Jesus Christ, it was terrible.
I mean, it was horrendous, but it was such a.
See,
It was
So,
so-
John,
problem was I used a thinner key, so like it didn't punch a big enough hole, and then it.
Gotta add that to his excuse list. So, John, is there any scenario where the Jets will trade out number 2? Can they get overwhelmed with some package? Do you think a team will be willing to do that after seeing Zach Wilson today?
No way. I thought I watched Trevor Lawrence's pro day. I watched everybody's pro day, and Zach Wilson looked legit. And he put on a really good show, like the moving around and the soft throws, the touch throws, the zip throws, the rolling to the left and throwing to the right. I mean, he looked really good. I don't think there's any package or way we're moving off to. I really don't.
And now, do you think, is there any scenario in the world where the Jaguars take Zach Wilson?
That was making me nervous today, but what's his name didn't show up there. Their
Urban
head
Meyer.
coach.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't there. So I feel like if he had interest in doing something like that, he would have been there. But so I don't really think that, but it was kind of making me nervous because he was having such a good pro day. I'm like, that would just be our luck. Like, not that like we wouldn't be excited about getting Trevor Lawrence, but I feel like Zach Wilson put it on a little more of a show than Lawrence did at the pro day. And,
Lawrence was also hurt too, though. So
yeah, he's got to get that surgery, right? He's due for. Is that on his or that's on his non-throwing arm, right?
I don't know. I don't even know that.
I don't even know.
I know it's a shoulder surgery. I think it's on his non-throwing arm that he has to get done or whatever. I'm just wondering why Fields dropped off so much. I'm really curious to see his pro day.
I'm rooting for him, dude. Like I like him. I like his story. Like I like him a lot. The more I like read about him and like research him, like that, I like Justin Fields a lot. I hope he has a great pro day on I guess Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is. He's a very easy kid to root for, man. Like I hope well for him for sure.
Yeah, because everybody was talking today, like when San Fran traded up, they were like that they're moving up for like Trey Lance or somebody to sit, and I'm like, well, if the Jets are like taking,
I'm not buying that though. They don't want Garoppolo, dude. They're full of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're definitely moving up for Fields. Like there was a talk there with Saleh, and it's like, oh, we're really feeling Wilson. Like we're gonna go Wilson, and they're like, okay, we know if we get to 3, then we can at least get Fields. Like I don't really buy the whole getting Trey Lance and letting him sit and keeping Garoppolo. I think they're going to move Garoppolo, whether that's in the draft or before the season.
I disagree with that if it's going to be Trey Lance, just because he didn't really play in 2020. I think he only had one game. So just give him a year to sit. You can go with Jimmy G for a year, and then you let him start the following year. If it's Fields, I think he probably starts from day one. But if it's Trey Lance, I think
that's what I was thinking. What is it? Three first round picks. Rose is fucked up, man.
So funny shit.
But with that haul, don't you think San Fran would go up to get a guy that's going to start like this year? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to play cool with the whole Garoppolo thing, but I mean, because that happened, he's still on the roster, so they can't say, "Oh yeah, you're not going to start now." They have some ironing out to do with him for sure. You know,
right. And just the whole division looks. I mean, the Dolphins made some big moves today.
They are loaded with draft picks. Holy shit!
Yeah, our division's looking real fucking tight.
Don't worry, man. We got our quarterback in another month or so. We'll get our guy. We're gonna move on. John. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Prime
Hey,
time.
do your shots.
Man.
I'll work on it for next year.
Ibrima, thank you, John. Let's see. Hello, guys. The Jags love Wilson's pro day. They would love pick number 23, Quentin Williams, and he always gives us these scenarios. Pro day, they would love pick 23, Quentin.
Wait, I want to know how the Jets are getting 3 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore to draft Mac Jones at 8. Not that I would want Mac Jones, but all those
The
picks.
Jets have 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and DJ Moore 2
Why would we take Mac Jones at 8 though?
I wouldn't want 8. I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's
I'd be fine picking 8th with all those draft picks, but I'm not taking Mac Jones at 8.
no,
I'm
neither am I.
I'm taking Kyle Pitts or somebody like that.
Yeah, I don't. And the Jaguars, why don't they just pick them? I mean, I guess I understand what you're doing. I guess we can go back down to 2. Yeah, I don't see either one of those scenarios working out, to be honest with you.
At that point, wouldn't you just call the Jaguars bluff? If they wanted to trade down in 2 to take Wilson, just take him at 1 then.
Take him at 1.
Right.
That's just I mean, I know you're trying to get more out of it, and then the Jets get Lawrence, but yeah. Had me thinking on this one for a bit. I don't want Mac Jones at 8, though. I definitely don't want that.
No.
Rose is just on fucking Rose is on a mission tonight, man. Holy shit. Let's see. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate it. I think if you're looking at the teams that are going to trade up, I mean, to me, it's, I guess there's rumors about the Denver Broncos, which I'm not really buying right now. But to me, I think it's Carolina, man, because they were pretty much aggressive in a lot of the scenarios and other quarterbacks. They were always in the mix when names are being mentioned. They were always involved. So that's an interesting one.
I still think Washington's potentially
Washington, Chicago too. I mean, Andy Dalton, is that your answer there? I mean,
that was actually a good point from Tyrone about the money that those quarterbacks are making between Dalton and Fitzpatrick. I mean, you could easily afford to add Darnold's contract, and the combined salary of both of them isn't even more than most starting quarterbacks. So
we got WASHI. Washi. Your device isn't connected, dude. We can't bring you on. That's why you need to connect your microphone and your cam. We can't bring you on, dude. You've been on there for a while. we can't do nothing with you. So you keep saying you want to come on, but you have to activate, you have to sync up your shit. This is for prime time to buy his headband. You definitely gotta wear a headband, dude. Like Zach Wilson one, you definitely need to do that.
I'm wearing my Sam Darnold sweatshirt.
He can't come on. All right, then we will get you out of our studio. Away you go. And then we will put this back here. And then we will bring on Ryan. Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. It was a nice, relaxing day. Watched the pro day. Thought it was pretty good with Wilson. And I just had a question for primetime. I just wanted to come on. So I was getting my arts and crafts set up. So I have this right here. For the number 1 for Wilson, should I just duct tape the 4 out, or should I 1? What do you think? Well, it's better.
It's too soon, man. It's too soon. It's
too soon. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with just the big 1 in the center. That way, it's at least centered.
Let some of the wounds heal for a couple days, and then we can discuss Zach Wilson's jersey.
So yeah, that was the main point.
Well done.
Everything else, besides that, I mean, don't want to talk about kickers today, but the Jets look like they have Ficken for another year. So it looks like we're sticking with him.
What about no corners?
Yeah, that's. I mean, is Richard Sherman still available? I think, right?
I don't think
he's coming here, man.
No.
I think he probably wants solid money. Goes to probably a winning team. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has won before, so then it's not like he's never won a Super Bowl. But
what do you do about backup quarterback?
I don't know who's left. I mean, I don't know who's left on the market.
Do you consider a guy like Alex Smith or no?
I feel like he would want I feel like he wants like more. I mean, definitely as a mentor, that would be a good. If you get Wilson or a rookie quarterback, he'd be good. But I just don't know about if he wants to go through that. Also, there's also the whole. I mean, I guess he'd want a starting job, but then you have to think there's some like PTSD with going with a rookie quarterback and then getting overtaken again. But I feel like Alex Smith would ask for way too much money that we would be willing to give for a quarterback who would have for half a season until Wilson would come in if we're going that route.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing that I found interesting today was just the talk about the Jets trading Darnold and swapping 23 going up to 8 or 9 with the Denver, Carolina. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Sign me up in a heartbeat for that shit. I think any Jet fan would, right? Prime time, even you would, dude. If you take Darnold and then the second first round pick and get in the top 10.
Might as well if you're taking a quarterback at 2, yeah.
He's just defeated, man. It just sucked the life out of him, man. It's just between that and the shitty shotgun.
We were talking earlier this year about taking Darnold not taking him, trading him and getting like a late first rounder. So I guess what we're kind of saying here is that the top 10 is a late top 10 is better than 2 late first rounders, which I guess makes sense. But it's just I just found that really interesting.
Oh, dude, I missed it. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you. See you guys.
Have a good night, Ryan.
Dude, I would do that in a heartbeat. If you can package that late first rounder and Darnold get into the top 10, do that shit tomorrow. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now.
I know you would.
It's just trying to keep us a happy show, man.
He'd buy his plane ticket out of here.
It's a feel-good Friday, man. It's a feel-good Friday. We're going to bring on, let's see here, John from Atlanta. What's up, John?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Can't complain. How y'all doing today?
You're not smiling, man.
I've been better.
I know. Prime time is a little hurt right now.
Rough day, man. Right. Rough day.
But it's all right, Prime time. I'm not going to get on you about Sam anymore. I think everybody's getting on you about it. So
you a fan of Wilson or what?
I'm not really a fan of. I like Wilson and I like Fields. I'm not a fan of Darnold anymore, just for the simple fact is I liked him coming out of USC. But over the last 3 years, he has shown me that he can't make great decisions, as I've been saying over the previous times I've been calling in. If Darnold has shown he can make decisions amidst having bad coaching and bad GMs and everything else, I'm more liable to keep him. But he hasn't shown it. So he's a big question mark going forward. And with
you think the gap
GM and a new regime, they can't take that chance. So
you think the gap is wide enough between either?
Best thing to do is to draft a new quarterback and reset the quarterback market, the money on the quarterback.
So you think the gap is wide enough between either Wilson or Fields to kind of set aside all those potential draft picks and just roll with your new quarterback?
I mean, when you look at it, either Wilson or Fields can't do worse than what Darnold did in the last 3 years. And if they do have a crappy year this year, you can say, hey, it's just year one, he's a rookie. But if Darnold has a crappy year, what are you going to say? What can you really say about it?
Well, that's what I keep saying, though. If Darnold has a bad year, whether or not you pick up the 5th-year option is a different story. But you would still have those 7 first-round picks, assuming you use 2 of them this year. You addressed, wide receiver, offensive line, whatever. Now you have 5 first-round picks. If Darnold's not the guy, who do you want next year? Is there somebody in the
draft? If you pick up Darnold's 5th-year option, let's just say it's $20 million.
Well,
okay.
So if you did that approach, again, with the trade that was offered today, you would still have 2 first-round picks in 2023. So whether it was a quarterback next year and he sits for a year, or you just get rid of Darnold altogether, or you draft your quarterback in 2023, you trade for Watson or Russell Wilson. That's why I feel like you would have every single opportunity to get whoever you wanted if it isn't Sam. And if it is Sam, well, now you're in a perfect situation with all those draft picks, and you've got your core, you've got your foundation, you got your pass rushers, your O-line, your receivers. As long as Joe Douglas could draft well, you're set up perfect.
Yeah, but if you look at it, there's also no good quarterbacks. What the talks are, there's no good quarterbacks coming out next year. So if you got a chance at number 2 to pick one of the top 4 quarterbacks, why would you wait till next year hoping to trade for Watson, which 1 might not happen, and 2, you might have competition with Miami with all the draft picks that they just picked up.
Dude, to be honest, the Watson thing I think is done, man. I think he's untouchable for now. That story's not going to wait anytime soon, man.
So when you jump back to Sam, it's more of what's your expectation of Sam going into next year? God knows. He can have 2 good games and 14 bad games, and then, like I said before, your whole draft is now shot because you decided to stick with Sam instead of saying, hey, Wilson, I'm going to go with Wilson for this case. Wilson is a rookie. He has 3 years. He has 4 years on a cheap contract rather than Sam having 1 year left on the cheap contract and have to pay him $20 million. So I just wish Sam could make better decisions of what he's done, what he has done, and then I'll be more liable to say Yes, that's Rock.
He should make a decision right. He should make a decision right now and demand the trade. Is what he should do. Just get the hell out of here.
Actually, agree
It's
with
not
that.
the Sam's DNA to do that. You see how
If I see my
he
GM
sided
talking with another
Wilson.
quarterback, I'm like, "Psh, get me out of here. I'm ready to move
Yep.
on. It's like cheating in a relationship.
No, not really, because like
Same
I was
thing.
listening to the Michael K show today, and it was like how it was like Michael K, was like the Jets had to do what's best for the Jets, not what's best for Sam's, because it's all a business. And
That's the NFL, man.
it's I want this kid to succeed, but like everybody's saying, he's not going to succeed on the Jets because the first pick he throws, everybody's going to start booing him. Every first bad game he has, oh, why'd you keep him? You should have got rid of him.
So you drown all that noise out, and you
It's
stick
the,
to your
it's the
plan.
same old Jets. So
You drown it out by getting Zach Wilson.
you
And
draft
what's going to
Zach
happen when
Wilson.
that narrative starts on him? What's going to happen then? What's going to happen if Darnold has a better year than Wilson year one, or Fields or Lance has a better year?
We can't even find a team for Darnold yet.
Hold on. Okay, so let's take Darnold completely out of the equation then. Let's say
here
Trey
we
Lance.
go.
Let's say Trey
Here
Lance.
comes negative Kevin.
Let's say Trey Lance or Fields has a better year in year one than Wilson. He's not facing that same kind of pressure.
He's facing player pressure. Let's say this. Let's say Zach Wilson plays well. Then what? We're all happy not saying all the negative shit we're saying right now.
So why did the fuck does that only apply to Zach Wilson and not Sam Darnold?
I mean,
Because once Sam Darnold leaves here, I don't give a fuck how he plays. I'm worried about the Jets quarterback.
No, I'm talking if you kept him. Why?
Or
why
not.
Okay, but
That
why
what
are
if?
we- why-
The
why
what
are
if
we
is not.
automatically- But your what if automatically assumes that the rookie's going to play well and Sam's going to be a bust.
Well, my what if is confirmed by today by them not taking a package for number 2. So
Well,
it's not
confirmed.
my
It's not
what if. It's Joe
confirmed.
Douglas's.
It's what Joe Douglas is probably going to do. It's not confirmed. It's going to happen.
So then, John, thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, I got one more question for you guys before I go.
Good.
What are your thoughts on Tevin Coleman?
I don't really have one. I mean, he knows the offense. He used to be good. He's hurt a lot. I think there was other better running backs out there, and I don't know.
I think he's just a depth piece. I think he's somebody who could.
He's a
teach
veteran
them
for
the
a very
system-
inexperienced
teach them the
running back
system,
room. Yep.
And hopefully you get something out of him. It's better than going in than what we had.
For me, him and P. Ryan should be like your 2 and 3. Hopefully, you can draft
Why are
somebody
you
early.
discounting Ty Johnson, man? Come on.
Ty Johnson
is in there.
and Josh Adams should be
think
competing
Josh
for that
Adams
fourth
is on
running
the
back
back
spot.
burner. I think
Ty
Josh
Johnson's better than
Adams is
P.
like
Ryan.
RB4.
So you're cutting
I
P.
think-
Ryan?
I'm not cutting him, but I say he's better than him.
Nah, I think
you're not
Coleman
drafting
would
a
be
running back?
RB1. I think then it'd be P. Ryan and maybe Johnson as.
What the fuck is P. Ryan showing everybody all of a sudden? Ty Johnson showed more in 10 carries than P. Ryan showed all season.
P. Ryan
Before
was
he
still a
got
third
hurt.
round pick.
It's
P.
more
Ryan was still a
like
third round
that,
pick.
I don't give a shit where he was drafted at. It's a matter of talent and ability.
Douglas ain't cutting a third round pick that he just drafted last year.
I don't know what they're going to do. To be honest with you.
I can tell you what, he may have to consider it because he got fucking what? James Morgan's a complete waste of time.
That was a fourth round pick.
I mean, John,
Yeah,
thanks a lot. Have a
Don't
good night.
forget, If y'all want to come to Atlanta for the game, I'm still.
Oh, I assure you, man. I will be wearing my number 1 jersey. Don't worry about that.
Zach Wilson. I'll be there with you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one.
Brett, I can't take it. I can just see the look of disgust on his face.
Done with the show.
So we have another celebrity from Canada. This is now, she is going
great.
to this. I mean, now he's gonna get the popcorn.
Oh, just what we need.
What's up, best friend?
Let's make the show even better.
Doing?
How are you?
Not bad. Tired, I guess.
Thank you for roasting Tyrone today. I thoroughly enjoyed
Oh
that.
yeah, I was like, come on. My guess was it was gonna be a week, but 3 days. Come
Yep.
on, it was. I was expecting that. I said I would get him some maple syrup, so I'll do that on the Tuesday show.
So, have you and Primetime mended fences now? Are you still hostile towards each other, or is it more friendly now?
Well, I think she's hostile because the Rangers have won like 15-2. I think it was over the last 2 games.
No, it would be. They scored
17.
9 and they scored 8, so it'd be 17. So yeah,
Awesome.
no, I want Elaine Vigneault's ass fired. I think they should have left him in an MSG last week. He's a fucking clown. But everything apparently is fine with the Flyers. I can literally predict every single one of their results, so that's great. I'm actually on a Flyers boycott. I am not watching any of their games until they either fire Vigneault or trade for a defenseman. I think they need to fire his ass, but
So now,
I'm not hostile. I don't have any hatred toward the Rangers. The only hockey teams I
what about
absolutely
Primetime?
can't stand. he's a bit of a clown, but could be
So
worse.
now,
I'm my
as
clown.
Let's see. You gave me an awful music recommendation, which I was disgusted by. A few
It's a
shows
great song.
ago, I
You just
wasn't
have bad taste in
around.
music.
No, what are you talking about? I have really good taste in music. Tyson thinks my taste in music is good.
she sends me music all the time. The bands are always
Yeah.
excellent.
Well, if you don't like
Yeah,
Dracula,
exactly.
cool.
I have great taste in music. What are you talking about? So yeah, I was really disgusted by that. What else? Oh yeah, one of the shows I missed like the first like 2.5 hours, 3 hours of the show, and then you're like throwing shade at me for being apparently the Rose Burner account, but you couldn't even get my name right when you were trying to throw shade at me. I was like, really?
I
Come
always
on.
say your name right. What are you talking about?
No, you don't. I would say it's like a 60-40, you get it wrong. No, I can literally go back. And yeah, you accuse me of being the Rose Burner account. I can debunk that right now if you want, because she's literally commented twice when I've been on.
Yeah, she's just.
I mean,
roasting this crap, right?
I can't be the.
but I can't see your hands while you're talking. So I mean, I don't know how.
Do you really?
You might be making comments while you're talking. I don't know.
So here's a question.
Looking down.
Or
Here's
maybe
a
you paid a
question. Now,
friend to run the.
is there
burner account for
any
the night. I don't know
is
how
there
you do
any scenario where the New Orleans Saints trade for Sam Darnold?
I hope.
I would bang my head into a wall repeatedly if that happened. I would be so pissed off because they're already doing like a QB competition. What I think it'll end up being is that Taysom Hill, it'll be like a QB by committee, which I don't like already. I think that's stupid, and it's just going to kill the flow of the offense because that's what happened. I can't type with my feet. No, fuck off. No, I think it'll kill the flow of the offense. I think because that's why I feel like everyone. I don't know if people just don't watch a lot of Saints games or like. Because at the beginning of the year, everyone was just roasting Drew Brees and saying he was washed up, and I do think he declined. But one of the big issues, like specifically in the Packers and Chargers games, was that they kept trying to force in Taysom Hill on every set of downs, and it's easy to predict. Like it's not as bad as like Gase's offense, where like you just have to predict early running plays. But if you know he's coming on the field, like Taysom Hill, you're gonna he's gonna be involved with some clownery.
But isn't
and
that?
so it's
But
easy to
wasn't that
predict.
because Drew Brees' arm was like I like Jameis Winston. I'm not gonna lie, I've always liked him. And he's got an enormous arm. Now, don't you think they brought Taysom Hill in because Drew Brees couldn't make some of those throws anymore because he lost velocity?
A lot of the time, Taysom Hill actually wasn't throwing. It would be like some weird play where they were running it to him or flipping him the ball, and so that's why he had a bunch of issues with fumbling this season because usually it would be like a running play. He wasn't throwing a lot until he actually became the quarterback when Brees went down. Yeah, and that's not a good thing.
Definitely not.
All right, so you think there's no market for Sam Darnold in New Orleans. Now, do you think did today's trade with the 49 did the 49ers trade today surprise you at all?
A little bit, but I always thought the Jets were gonna take a quarterback at 2 because like if you're Joe Douglas, you're a fucking moron if you stick with Sam Darnold for another year. Like in the NFL, if you're a GM, you don't draft the guy, so you have no loyalty to him. And he wants to keep his job for as long as possible. So why the hell would you try and do a reclamation project, especially like when you have such a high pick? It doesn't make any sense. So I figured there was no way he was probably staying, but that's just me.
So are you surprised the Dolphins made that move and the 49ers made that power move?
Well, like Jimmy G is even worse than Sam Darnold. Like he's horrible. The only people who rate him are like some Pats fans and then any like female sportscaster. Like some of the people I follow on Twitter, they're just like, Jimmy G is a good guy. And I think it's just because people think he's attractive, which like, okay, then whatever. I don't think he's that attractive either way. But yeah, I think like the 49ers, I think trading up makes sense. I think it says a lot about how much Sam Darnold isn't any good if they don't even want to take like a flyer second rounder on him and instead want to give up the farm to go trade up with the Dolphins. Like I think that shows how people in the league value him personally. That's my thoughts.
That's an excellent take. I completely agree with that.
I completely
disagree
with that.
I completely agree. If you're the 49ers, would you rather give up a second round pick and get Darnold? Or do you give up all this shit you just gave up to move up and get Trey Lance?
Well, we don't know what the price.
Like, and Trey Lance didn't even play this
Darnold,
year, so it's like that just shows. Like Trey Lance didn't even play, and you're rating him over Sam Darnold apparently. Like that's especially since everyone's argument is always like Sam Darnold would be such a good fit in the Shanahan offense. So I think that that says a lot that they're willing to go up for a guy who literally hasn't played all year, and it's kind of one of those like. There's rumors that he's going to be sitting behind Jimmy G for a year. I'd honestly play him because like. I don't think you can get much worse than Garoppolo, but whatever.
This call, man. Prime time. You have any questions for? She's just lecturing you right now. I think.
No, I'm good.
Nothing.
He's just really depressed. Like he's in his really gross like Sam Darnold hoodie, which I think you should burn. To be honest, like I don't think it's gonna have much because it's not gonna have much value after he gets traded. I think you need to like exercise the demon that's possessed you to like love Sam Darnold so much. Like I've never seen someone so irrationally loyal to
You got to give him credit for that, though.
Why is it irrational though?
You gotta give him credit.
He hasn't won anything. He literally hasn't done anything. And you're like, I wouldn't trade him for the 8th pick in the draft.
Do
Like,
you
what?
honestly like all bullshit aside? Do you honestly think any quarterback would have done anything?
Well, like it
Any-
wasn't a good system, but I don't understand your
And-
argument
and
where
you
you
just
say
said that,
no
though.
one's like no other quarterback in the NFL has faced adversity. Like other quarterbacks have had bad coaching. Like Justin Herbert had like shit coaching this year.
No, yeah,
Even
yeah.
Gardner Minshew, like the Jaguars were fucking tanking, and at the beginning of the year, he didn't look too bad until he was working with nothing. He was getting hurt. So
You
like
can point to examples of bad coaching. You can point to examples of bad offensive line play, and you can point to examples of bad weapons. You can't point to a team that has the worst of all three, and that's been the Jets with Sam Darnold for the last 2 years under Adam Gase.
yeah, and he hasn't shown anything. At least some of these other quarterbacks in shitty situations have shown something. All you talk about is how
There's
Sam
no,
Darnold has shown
there's no
some flashes.
situation that's even close, though.
I
None.
would say, like, honestly, I would say Josh Rosen was in a shitty situation. I would even say Dwayne Haskins was in a really shitty situation. The team that drafted him didn't even want him. He was with a bunch of idiotic coaching staff. The only difference between him and Darnold is that Dwayne Haskins is a fucking moron and Sam Darnold comes off as, like, a somewhat nice guy. So either way, like, you make it out like he's the only quarterback who's ever been through any adversity. And okay, yeah, maybe he's in a slightly worse situation, but he's shown way less.
But you act like by year 3, every single quarterback has it figured out.
Most of them have shown more than he has.
I
That's
remember
why it
very, I
seems like
remember
people
very
are looking at
vividly.
Gardner Minshew
plenty of
over
Giant
him.
fans-
Like, I hear
I remember
like
very
that.
vividly plenty of Giant fans that I'm very close friends with that all wanted Eli Manning out of town after his
Oh.
second year and after his third year. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, Eli Manning's a weird one because he was
And
like
if you
he was
look at,
good
and if you look at his numbers, his completion percentage is way less than Darnold after his third year. He was trash. Giant fans wanted him out of town. He led the league in interceptions in year 4, but they snuck into the playoffs. They went on that run, and then he was fine going forward. That's how quickly it changed for him. It's
Well, I don't
different
think
for
it's going
every
to change
quarterback.
for Sam Darnold. It's time to embrace another quarterback. Give up on Sam. It's done.
Once they take
Stop
Zach
making
Wilson,
excuses.
once they take Zach Wilson, I'll be there. Until that happens,
Well, there's no way they're not going to take him. There's no way
probably
they're not
not.
taking him.
Probably not.
So time to give up now. Like it's just
Not yet.
you just look dumb.
Nope. Not yet.
Cassandra, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the music recommendations too. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. See you guys later.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Well, she's obviously not Rose because Rose was commenting with her the whole time. So now prime time. The best part about this show is that when you make bold statements and they happen to not come true, and then you have to do something as a result of that, we hold you accountable for it.
Wait, hold
So
on.
now
Hold on. Who's Rutgers playing this week? This weekend?
But all I know is you were not rooting for Rutgers.
I'm just saying that they were so close to having a little dance, Sweet 16, chance at the Elite 8. They had the lead. What was it, 8 points with like 5 minutes left? You guys were about to dance. You were going. You were in. You blew.
Yeah, they blew it. They choked.
At least they were there, and he's a hater, and he lost, and he had to do a shotgun for it. So that's it.
I'm a big hater with Rutgers. That's fine. Not you, but the school Rutgers.
Seems personal, man.
I just don't like the football team more than anything else.
Football team stinks.
Yeah.
So, first question for you: did today's trade surprise you?
A bit. I saw it happening maybe, but I just didn't think it would happen so early. I was just glad it wasn't us that went down.
Do you think it's for Trey Lance?
I think, because at first they said it probably is for Lance because Field hasn't had his pro day yet. So the only people they've seen so far will be Mac and Lance, and it wouldn't make sense to trade up all the way for Mac. But then I think with the Shefty said that they've been trying to trade up for weeks. So then again, it could be Fields, and we just don't. And maybe they like all of them, and they just know they want to get one of them. Whether it's Wilson. Although I don't think Wilson's gonna be available, even though I am still a Fields guy, and I'll stick by that.
So right now, I mean, if Fields could still have an excellent pro day, man, and make a statement for himself, next week. Do you think there's a chance the Jets don't take Wilson? If Fields, is there anything Fields can do to change their mind? Do you think, or is it already kind of like a foregone
I think
conclusion?
it's probably already set with like all the different things you're hearing, where San Francisco and the Jets never really got into any real talks, where the Jets basically, I mean, because it makes no sense that they wouldn't have called. So that means the Jets just basically flat out declined him, and they never got into actually discussions. And then you have the whole thing with the Eagles wanted to trade up to 3, but the Eagles wanted to get Wilson, and they ended up trading back. And Howie Roseman's really close with JD, so maybe he got a little like a wink that Zach Wilson wasn't going to be there for 3, and that's why he decided to go straight down.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating, man. So now, what prime time? Any thoughts, man? I guess questions all day.
I mean, the writing's on the wall. I wish I could deny it and come up with some scenarios where maybe he's just holding out for a greater offer, wants to stay in the top 10 or something like that. But nah, I mean, if you had a chance to get 2 first-round picks, you're probably taking that offer.
Yeah.
Is there anybody? Do you think there's a team that can come up and beat what the 49ers have already offered to get the number 2 pick?
I think Carolina potentially could. I don't know if Joe Douglas would take it though, or at least how much it would take for him to move back.
I think Carolina
probably at least 3 first-round picks, if not a little bit more.
I think Carolina potentially could. I just think it's not really unlikely. With they have a lot of interest in Watson. I think Watson's a whole thing where he's probably not going to get moved this offseason.
Yeah,
which all that stuff, because it's not looking good for him. But even if he was cleared or anything, it's going to take a long time. These court cases take a long time. I think Jameis had some cases when he first started in the league, and it dragged forever. So especially with the amount of cases there are, I think it's going to be a while before this is done. So I've personally just moved on from it. I think Carolina they could just wait it out. They still have Bridgewater under contract. They're not going to be able to move Bridgewater, I don't think.
Maybe Bridgewater and Darnold can get reunited.
Yeah, bring back Josh McCown too. Sign him as the vet.
Yeah, I would look to trade Darnold to Carolina or Denver. I think Washington could also be an interesting possibility.
Yep.
I still wouldn't rule out Pittsburgh maybe. Pittsburgh picked up Haskins, right?
Yep.
So I guess maybe they have the guy they think will potentially be a future thing.
Even if Ben only has another year, I mean, that can make sense for them, though.
Yeah, that's why I think they could work. But I guess they're going to try and groom Haskins and see what he got this year.
Though. What the hell do you do with that then? If he sits behind Ben this year, then what do you do next year? You pick up his option on a flyer?
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. That's why I think a Washington would make a little bit more sense because they do have a bit more cap flexibility. And I think Fitz is only on a 1-year deal, right?
See, that's the thing, though. Like, that's where I don't understand what teams are going to do, though, because if you say you pick him up as a backup this year and he doesn't play, then what do you do next? You let him walk? Like, you pick up his out? Like, what do you do? Like, if you bring him in, you want to bring him into play to see what the fuck you can do with him, right? I mean, that's why I don't understand how teams are going to handle this.
I think Denver would make the most sense because
let him play this year.
Yeah, because there's something we can't really see until the draft because you got to wait till a team doesn't get a quarterback and then he'll be able to be moved. Because right now, no one's going to be trying to move for him when potentially you have a team looking at I think with the Dolphins pick at 6. Say if a quarterback slides and Atlanta doesn't take a quarterback, you could easily see the Dolphins trying to trade back to 8 or 9 and have Carolina or Denver jump up to take another quarterback. So I think it's really something you got to wait till the draft happens, wait till a team who wants a quarterback doesn't get one, and then we could try and make a deal from there.
I completely agree because it's got to be a team that gets him and lets him play this year so you can see what you have and all right, it's going to work, not going to work. Then you decide. You don't want you make a trade for him, then you lose him next year. It's like a jackass.
But if you traded for him, would you pick up the option? Because I think, depending on the team, you might just do it just in case.
It's $18 million. That's risky as hell.
Don't the Jets have to pick it up?
I don't.
Do they?
So. If we move him before the deadline,
it's like May 9th or May 5th or something like that.
I thought the team that drafted us to pick it up. Could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, but if anything, if we were agreeing to trade him, we could just pick it up and then just move him.
Yeah, it's gonna be fast. There's a lot of moving parts to that. It's gonna be interesting, man. Today was interesting, man. I found it just fascinating because this trade just shook everything up. Now
Today
it's like all
good. Today made me so happy. I think the trade was ridiculous because just Laramie Tunsil really brought the Dolphins 4 first-round picks and a third. It's ridiculous. The
Dolphins are loaded, man.
It's horrible. The Dolphins are kind of scary. I think our division is really looking forward. I know if we get this right, if Wilson's the guy, if LaFleur and Saleh are the coaches we think they are, and if Douglas can scout well, then I think we're going to be looking at a division where it's not like one team just rules the division forever.
Well,
And
you figure the Buffalo Bills, everybody's staying there. All the players are returning. They've all bought in. They all love Josh Allen. So they're going to be a team to contend with. The Miami Dolphins, if they draft well, dude, and Tua becomes anything, they're going to be fucking really good. The Patriots spent all this money. They're a quarterback away from being relevant again if Cam Newton can play well. So you have no idea there. Jets got their hands full, man. It's not going to be easy. You know?
But I mean, it's better than just watching one team just kill for 20 years.
Yeah, just be competitive, man. That's all I hope for. Rutgers, good talking to you, man. And you can see your smiling face. You're smiling. I'm smiling. Primetime, not so much.
Give me a few weeks.
Have a good night,
We'll
man.
be smiling week one. All right, good
That's
night,
right,
guys.
Hopefully. Have a good night, man.
All right, we'll go to Dylan. What's up, man? You muted yourself. Unmute.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Been a little better.
Yeah. I think Kevin. I think once 1 year is over, I think you'll be fine. I think you're gonna forget about this whole.
I better.
Sam didn't have a cast around and build around.
I better forget about it after a year. Zach Wilson, he better be the fucking shit. If we're turning down all these draft picks, he better be legit. That's all I'm gonna say.
But is that a fair expectation of him? Because you didn't have the expectation of Sam
to be a legit quarterback. Yes.
You wanted to be a top 10 quarterback in his first year.
No, I'm not.
Year three.
Yeah, he better be a legit quarterback. I want to see signs at least in year one that he's going to be that guy. I'm not saying he should be a top 10 guy by year one, but certainly by year 3, year 4, or at least at the end of his rookie contract, we should have a franchise quarterback here.
So like putting your Sam bias aside, would you rather take Fields over Wilson?
Probably. Trey Lance actually might be my top choice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I actually really like Trey Lance.
So you like Trey Lance. You like Trey Lance more than Zach Wilson?
No, I like Trey Lance more than Fields.
Really?
I definitely like Trey Lance more than Wilson.
You just hate Wilson.
No, I don't. What reason would I have to hate Wilson?
You've been spiting him all day.
What reason do I have to hate Wilson?
Sam is going.
That is
no, but I think so. No, but he's saying if Sam goes,
why would I put another rookie quarterback ahead of him though? I mean, if it had anything to do with Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah, well, that's true.
So prime time.
I'm
what's your rank?
not comparing to Sam.
So wait, what's prime time? What's your rankings then after Trevor Lawrence?
I'm going Lance and then probably Fields and then Wilson.
So you have Wilson 4 in this class.
Yeah, that's one of the things me and Jose actually agree on.
Okay. So Dylan, what's your rankings?
Obviously, Lawrence would be number 1. Number 2 for me would be number 2 Wilson, number 3 Lance, number 4 Fields, and then number 5 Jones, if you want to count him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Jones. I'm an Alabama fan, but I think if you take Devontae Smith away from him, if you take Jalen Waddle away from him, if you take the O-line that he had away from him, I don't think he's going to produce the same numbers. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but that's the fair assumption.
Okay, so what do you think the market is for Sam Darnold now? Do you think there is a market? Is it declining? Are you worried about that?
I wouldn't. It has declined, but I'm not going to say we can get nothing out of Sam. I actually like the idea that someone said before, packaging the 23rd pick and the Sam Darnold for another top 10 pick. I think that would be solid, but
solid would be a miracle.
It would be a miracle. I actually want Nick Mullen for a backup quarterback because he's been in the Shanahan offense before. He's basically kept the 49ers in a majority of their games last year, playing with second, third, fourth string receivers. He can also mentor whoever our quarterback is going to be of the future. Tell him which specific plays work, what your read should be in this specific play, who you should pass it to, and also I think he's a pretty good leader, and I would rather have him than James Morgan if he's even going to play, or even a Joe Flacco, which he's already gone. And I can't. I'm still pretty pissed at him about what he said about during his Eagles press conference. So.
Yeah, Flacco's a clown. It seems like he's a unique bird, man. Definitely a unique bird. Dylan, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for everything that you guys do for the community and everything. And I appreciate you guys talking a couple weeks ago about the depression of like what people go through, and I think it's very like impactful, and the overall, not just the Jets fan community, but I think the community overall. I think a lot of people that are hiding and they're too afraid. I think it's a good job that you're doing this and using your platform to spread the awareness of this. So I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
And Kevin, feel better. And no more bets. No more bets. You keep doing like 10 shotguns. All right.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night.
All right, you have a good night too.
Yeah, we're due for another mental health one too, man. We do that this week.
Yeah, I'm clearly due for one.
We got one here. Wait, Sam Darnold hasn't showed more than Haskins or Rosen? Seriously, GMs just like to live and die with their own quarterback, which is why I think Sam will be moved.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I think he's personally shown a lot more than Haskins and Rosen.
Haskins was terrible, and Rosen's just been a mess. I think Rosen's just been screwed by just circumstance, man. He just keeps getting moved and moved and moved. And do a couple more. We'll wrap this up. Let's see what we got here. The one guy kept trying to connect with us, dude, and his microphone wasn't on, then his camera wasn't on, and everything else. I think
he said he was going to call in on the call-in show on Tuesday.
Yeah. So yeah, we do Monday nights usually. We do Tuesdays. We stay pretty busy. Mariota he restructured with the Raiders, so he's not going anywhere. The backup quarterback thing is interesting, man. There's a couple things I don't understand what they're doing, but I'm just gonna let it be for now.
And Sam bias aside, I have a funny feeling if they haven't traded him by now, he's not getting traded, and he'll be in camp with your rookie quarterback.
That would be a disaster. What a disaster. What a complete just nightmare. That's your last glimmer of hope, I think, right now.
It would be.
What else we got here? I think that's pretty much it. We had everybody. And the cool thing is we didn't see. Oh, Tyson, did you get in the primetime stash? No. When are we hosting a candlelight vigil? We will have a show. The day that Sam is traded, we will have a farewell show for him. We'll let Primetime host it. We want to thank Jose for exposing Primetime. That is his bad Rutgers take. And what else? I think that's it. Thank you guys all for joining us. We appreciate it. Unless something crazy happens Monday night, and then that's it. Talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.